Angry Duck Graphics has the biggest, baddest merch shop around. Check it out at shopangryduck.com and buy a Remedy shirt while you are there. The Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Association is the largest of 3 sanctioned national pulling associations with 16 classes and more than 350 competing vehicles streamed on outlawpulling.tv.
Extreme Performance and Tire Cutting in Rock Valley, Iowa gives their customers the most competitive edge possible. Be supreme. Buy Extreme.
The official fan app for truck and tractor pulling. Sign up, pick winners, win cash. It's that easy. fullpull.us.
GMS Manufacturing and Machine. Helping you build a superior foundation with top quality parts and service. Give Brent a call today.
Coal Train Energy is American-made energy and Midwest based in Syracuse, Missouri. Free shipping is available at coaltrainenergy.com. Check out their new flavors online.
Heavy diesel rebuilds and machine work is High Plains Performance's specialty. Their team of qualified and experienced professionals are at the top of their industry. Contact Doug for a quote today.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Can you hear Kenzie say hi?
Hi.
Hey, Kenzie. I haven't seen you. I did a whole weekend of shows where we weren't hanging out. What's going on?
All right. Question of the night. What is the craziest thing that's ever delayed a flight you've been on? I just need to know this.
Me?
Because no, just our audience tonight. I want to know in the comments. I want to know, and you too, Mike, if you want to know this. So last night, I flew out of Nashville, Tennessee, after coming home from Chapel Hill, working with Full Pull, and Nashville to Chicago, no problem. Get to O'Hare, get on our plane at 9:30 last night. 29-minute flight, right? 29-minute flight to Madison, Wisconsin. 90 minutes to fix a micro switch in the laboratory. So, Mike, it took me. So when I walked off the plane, I said to the pilots, "Clark, the shitter's full," and he kind of laughed and thought it was funny. So, oh shoot. So anyway, yeah, we have an awesome show for you tonight. We're gonna start out with Kevin Davis from Wayne, Nebraska. This event is gonna be one of those. If it hasn't already, Mike, you don't need to say Nebraska. It's just gonna be we're going to Wayne, right? One of those destinations. Hopefully we'll get him talked into going to 2-day pull in the future as well. Fort Recovery, Ohio, freaking big time, right? 3 sessions. They're coming on at 8:25. Sheldon, Wisconsin, really big pull here in central Wisconsin. They're coming on at 8:45. 9:10. We're going to go to Houston, Minnesota, where they're going to throw a hoedown. No. Houston, how does that go, Kenzie? Houston hoedown. Hoedown. You don't throw a hoedown, Mike. It's more
just pick her up afterwards.
You just pick her up. Yeah, you throw the hoe down, then you pick her up. That's a really good Region 3 hook. Ken Witt, Mr. Yuck, the Alki Super, that's his hometown pull. So, Jay, we got a whole team going to Fort Recovery this weekend. So it's all good. And then, Mike, we'll kind of wrap it up. I want to talk about Adam Kester driving his dad's tractor Friday night, winning that 15 feet, the last hook of the class. That's going to give me goosebumps the rest of my life. I'm going to be announcing in Mendon, Illinois this coming Sunday and Monday. I got ITPA and a whole bunch of stuff. I think there's some PPL.
Do you remember how to do that? You haven't been on the microphone in almost a year.
I think I do. I did announce Full Pull Live. Greg Randall was my guest host Friday night. And Saturday night, it was Dan Schreier, Greg Randall, Travis Schlabaugh, Brandon Taylor, and Lindsey Campbell came in to do the unlimited class. We had a lot of fun on Full Pull Live, Mike. We put my cell phone number up on the screen. We let people text us questions to ask Travis. And it was
kind of like whoever was running the big screen in Rock Valley started putting some information out there. For all of you who watched late into the show, we got a little.
Put Ron Stone's cell phone number up there. Too.
Yeah.
Good. We had somebody bet $10 Friday night and win $650 on the Pro Stock class. That's really cool. We do have gambling this week. We're going to gamble on Pierce, Nebraska.
Yep.
We're going to gamble on Wayne, Nebraska. We're going to gamble on Fort Recovery, Ohio. And we're going to gamble on Brandenburg, Kentucky. That's what I've been told so far. The weigh-in Wednesday show for the upcoming Full Pull, Fort Recovery, and Brandenburg lineups. We're going to do that Wednesday night. Tuesday night, you have Outlawed Tuesday night.
Live with Ron Stone and Green Flag.
It's just Outlawed Live now. It's official. Like, we don't have to say Outlawed Live with Ron Stone. It's Outlawed Live. You have Ron wants me to start.
Feels like a promotion.
You're not going to get any money. Okay. Just be clear.
Was I anyway? So,
yeah. Todd Morris was one of the guys texting me a lot Friday night, and I really, really appreciated that.
That's been a monkey. I don't want to say a monkey on a back, but that's been a developing story for 5 years. And I think anyone who follows pulling who knows the backstory behind that, wanted that to happen in that vehicle with that driver, knowing what that pull meant to him and knowing what happened there. That on the 5-year anniversary, that's. I won't run the spoiler.
we got Kevin in makeup. He still looks like shit, so I'm gonna leave him back there for another minute. Get some more makeup on. Marty Samuelson, good question. Had a flight out of Mesa, Arizona. The latch on a door for luggage above the seats didn't work. The text came. It taped it back up 45 minutes to do the paperwork. Can't wait till Gibbon on August 2nd. Awesome. Yeah, it is. I saw PPL said it's Hell Week. If I posted it's Hell Week, somebody would trash me on the internet somewhere. But
I wasn't going to say anything, but I did feel like, each their own. But
if Beer Money
Heaven Week. This is Heaven Week.
All the haters get on there. Oh, yeah.
But this is the biggest week in pulling. I mean, when you look at, you got the Goshen sweep for PPL, you've got Brandenburg and
how about the biggest month? It's the biggest month. It's freaking.
But if you dial it to one single week, this week right here is, I cannot wait. Cannot wait.
Yes, I did, Stu. I got all your stickers and you guys were texting me during a live stream when I'm trying to work, and I'm like, and it's hard for you guys know, Mike. I have ADD. It's hard for me to focus as it is. So it's all about. So. Kenzie, cue up the Wayne promo. Play that, and then we'll bring Kevin's done with makeup, it appears, and he looks, it is what it is. I mean, we're gonna do the best we can.
We have done all that we can do. We have all the gals back there. I just saw all 12 of them scatter apart, and they threw up their hands in frustration. So
he just cleaned his glasses, so he's got his tank top on. He means business. Kevin Davis got married in a tank top. I swear to God,
I was wondering if he owned a shirt with sleeves. He's been in that Southwest lifestyle for too long. So.
Yep. He is, but he's back in Nebraska. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Hit it.
Feel the power as 12 classes compete on 2 tracks at the Wayne County Fairgrounds. Join us for the Wayne, Nebraska Truck and Tractor Pull on July 26 at 6:30 p.m. Can't make it? Catch the action live at outlawpulling.tv. Tune in and feel the excitement.
Kevin Davis, that was probably the best introduction we've ever could give a promoter.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say. So it sucks when you're my friend because I lose all professionalism. It's just fun, and I screw around and I say you're ugly and you need more makeup, but I do too, so don't feel bad about that.
Hey, sometimes you got to do that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. That's why. Yeah, Kenzie. I called Kenzie Saturday night after your live stream. I was in Chapel Hill. You were in Warrensburg.
Yeah.
I said, "How's it going?" I called you Sunday morning. How you doing? I'm putting my face on. That's what she said. I was like, well, I had to put faces on. So. Well, Kevin Davis, welcome to
Thank you.
Let's Go Pulling. It's great to have you. Great to have you on here.
Yeah.
Great to have you on here.
Wayne, Nebraska is one of those pulls, Jason, like we were talking about. Kevin, this is one I'll just come right out and say right now. This is one that I've had personally marked on my calendar for the better part of a year, and kind of just a destination pull. We're under a week away. We're about 5 days away, and this is going to be a big one. Tell us what you've got lined up for us on Friday.
Well, we're just hoping for all the numbers. We got 12 classes, and we got supposed to be all the big hitters coming. I mean, so that's kind of what we shoot for, and I've been trying to grow this thing as we've went with the Outlaws, and like Jason said, our next step is possibly to go to a 2-day hook. I mean, that's kind of where we're at. It's a huge step when you go to a 2-day hook, but I think we can pull it off. We got a good board, and I think the people here back us really good. So, I mean, that's the things that you got to try, and that's how you promote it.
Jason, talk to the fans about the atmosphere out there in Wayne. I know last year we kind of talked a little bit and talked about how Chapel Hill creates an incredibly unique atmosphere. And then a week later you went to Wayne, and I heard you saying this is kind of like the Chapel Hill of the West. It kind of gets a feel to it. It's very electric. What's it like out there pulling in Wayne, Nebraska?
So it's super intimate, and that's where because like all the fans are on one side, and then there's two gigantic big screens on each side of the announcer stand. That's the freaking coolest thing I've ever seen. Chapel Hill feels like a football stadium. It's super intimate. It's wrapped around a single track. I never thought a one-track show could be that awesome until I went to Chapel Hill last year. And they bring in the big pros, the minis, the mods, or the minis, the pros, four-wheelers, diesel supers, right? So we got 5 gigantic classes. But guys, that's as far south as like Grand National Pulling goes. So like people come, they're an hour from Nashville, and like some big cities, aren't country. Like Lincoln, Omaha, those are country big cities for you, Kevin. But like Minneapolis isn't necessarily, or Chicago,
right?
Yeah, you know what I mean. But people wear cowboy boots. I actually like country music now. I hate to admit it. My Uber driver
because of Wayne, or because of Chapel Hill.
Because of Chapel Hill. My Uber driver yesterday, Nicole. She came and got me in Chapel Hill, and it was $81, but it was well spent, so I could sleep in because my flight was later. And I listened to Country Highway on Sirius Highway. So there's a couple songs, and I usually make fun of people who listen to country music, and I call them mean names. And because I like Motley Crue and Def Leppard, I make fun of Kenzie. But I might listen. I'm not opposed to country music anymore after being in Chapel Hill. Now I was going to go to Kid Rock's bar, but I had my golf clubs with me because I was supposed to play golf Saturday morning. So the Uber driver was going to take me to the airport. I was going to check my bags, and then I was going to go to Kid Rock's bar. And I was going to wear my Beer Money shirt in there, and I was going to be cool. But there was a horrible accident, and then they rerouted traffic, and I just said, you know what? I don't like being late for flights, and I want to get home. And I had to wait for a lavatory micro switch for 90 minutes to get fixed, Kevin. But it's all good.
When you watch a Chapel Hill, and I watched it, I mean, it is with a one track, the way it's set up, it is a pretty awesome show, and they kept everything moving. And that's kind of what's awesome when you see people that step up and want to keep that show moving so everybody can move on and go do other things.
Yep. What was cool for you, like last year, Kevin, your fair is amazing. Like the food, who's the big feller in the golf cart? It's got the balls hanging on there. What do you call him?
Trevor Hartman, spotted pony.
The spotted pony. Oh, yeah, no. Mike, I don't know if you believe half the stories that Kevin tells you, but they're all true. I'm just going to tell you.
We met at the Outlaw Banquet last year on Friday night, and we sat at the corner of the bar and just swapped stories all night long. And then I came back down at about 1:00 the next day and walked back to the same spot. And Kevin, it looked like he'd never left. He was like there waiting for me, beer in hand, and handed it to me. So no, when you have that type of experience with someone, you start believing the tall tales that you're regaled with. So,
but no, and this was my first experience to Wayne last year. But this big brand new grandstand, Mike, I don't know if it holds 5,000, 6,000. It's the whole freaking length of the track. I don't know how tall it is, Mike, but it's just awesome. And those two big screens, that is so cool. It feels like a rock concert. And you got Ron Stone on the mic, and he's just freaking good. He's the man, and the crowd gets into it. And we did that shootout in the 4-1 class, and they had the little traffic parade.
Shootouts are awesome. Yeah,
it was awesome. I mean, it was just a great event. I know Andersons are doing that again for the 4-1 class.
Yep. So
it just kicks off a thing, and it's just because you have standalone events and you have fairs, and but this feels like a standalone event at a fair, Mike, if that makes sense. Like I feel like it's bigger. And don't disrespect to your fair, Kevin, but I feel like this tractor pull is bigger than the fair itself. Like, I don't know if that makes sense.
It is. I mean, we're getting the numbers, and that's what all goes into it. I mean, last year we had 11, so we added one more class this year because I got the pro stocks. So I think, by the time you do all this stuff, and but you got to take this and you build it in to how your county fair does. You got a budget you got to work with. So you got to have a budget and where your lines are, so you know what you're doing. And that's kind of my job, to keep everybody where we're at, because we use, just like where you were, Jason, that thing gets used for 4 different things, 4 different venues. So Thursday night we do bull riding, Friday night we do you guys, Saturday night we do a concert, and then Sunday we do a wrecking derby, all right on the same dirt. So that's kind of huge, where we can control all that right in one spot.
Kevin, where does your passion for pulling come from? And like what? Because being a promoter, it's a pain in the ass. It's a lot of work. We all know that. And I appreciate every promoter that does it. But what's your why? Why, Kevin? Why do you?
Because when I was growing up back in the 70s, I loved tractor pulling, and we followed it. They had the small pulls around up, like from where Lauren Paulson's at. There used to be a pull there. My dad would take me there. And I just got to know pullers, and I love it. We could just never, Dad and I could just never afford to do it. But he took me to all the events and got to know people. And so that's kind of my big passion for trying to grow this sport, because I know it's there. When you look back in the 70s when it was, I mean, my God, guys, I mean, the early 70s. And then you look at where this is at today. This is huge. And so many people don't understand that. That's where my passion is, to get this thing up and bigger, to where I can have a 2-day hook here in Wayne, Nebraska, and get all the pullers here so they can actually just come and sit and relax and have a good 2 days is what I want. So that's how that's all kind of built into it. And then when we moved to Arizona, they made a new role for me on the fair board, so that I'm the fair board manager, so that I could still, so I do all the contracts for them, but I take in everything that I do. I mean, the bull riding, the bullfighting, the tractor pull, the concerts, and getting all this stuff lined up, so it's a lot of fun, but it's just like all you guys' jobs. I mean, there's some days you're thinking like, God, I should throw in the towel. But I want to see it grow.
Yeah, no, that's all.
What would it mean to you to take this to a 2-day pull, and what would it mean to the Outlaws? That's one thing I hear a lot from drivers and whatnot, is what a luxury it is to go to a 2-day or a 2-session hook. And I feel like you're about to kick down the door and be in that realm. So talk to us about what that would mean to you, and the importance of it.
To me, Mike, it would be huge, because that's always been a dream of mine. Because my little hometown, Carroll, Nebraska, up the road, they used to be Dennis Goodwin and all them used to come pulling there. That was a pull there from the Iowa boys, when they were pulling, and we went there all the time, and I just loved it. But I mean, if I can grow this in Wayne, Nebraska, a town of 5,000 people, and we get over 5,000 for the tractor pull. And if I go to a 2-day hook, who knows where we'll be at. I mean, I just think that we got room for campers here. We got 128 campers in right now as of tonight. So, I mean, people come on and they stay here all week long. So to me, growing this for the community is what I'm after, because my dad was on this fair board, and I've been on it now for going on 18 years. So that is my passion, to grow this. I want to be the best county fair in Northeast Nebraska. That's my goal.
Sure. Well, I know this is a pull that gets talked about a lot, and a lot of hype is surrounding it. And you've put a lot of work in it. From what I've heard, pretty drastic changes over the past 1 to 2 years to start taking steps towards that goal. Was it all new grandstands, and how big are the seats, and how good of a job did you guys do filling them last year? Because I heard that was a lofty goal, but
last year was full. It holds, actually it says 45 to 5,000, and we had 2 other bleachers on the north end of the grandstand, and they were all full because where does everybody want to sit? All the real tractor pull fans all want to sit at 300, between 250 and 340.
Yeah.
So we're just put in 2 portable bleachers today. That'll be any from the end of 300 to 340 foot, and I look for all of them to be full right away. And the whole grandstand, and then down in front of our grandstand, it's 12 foot wide, and they're serving beer down there all the way down through the grandstand, so people can have it in the grandstand. So I mean, it's wide open, handicap accessible. I mean, it was an awesome thing when I was able to work this out and get some of our COVID money to build it. I mean, that's what took us to the next level.
Yeah, so Kinsey, if you and I looked at a bleachers that had 6,000 people sitting in it, that's an easy 10,000 as far as how we count, right? As far as we're concerned, that's a 10,000 person show. So,
at least,
yeah,
at least because Montgomery or Warrensburg was absolutely packed. So there's at least 15,000 there.
I straight up told. So Jason, I'm assuming you've probably been to Lee before. I'd never been to Lee, but I straight up told the crowd that there was 4,000 of them there. I don't know. I did. I talked about how it was great hanging out with all 4,000 of you. So why not inflate the numbers a little bit? So
no, I'm in sales. You know, I'll give you a 5.5 interest rate if you buy points. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good.
But I said this is the thing that people have to look at. Also, where do you go nowadays? And you go to watch 12 classes of big stuff coming in for $20, or you bought a season. If you're from this area and you bought a season pass, season passes. We done April and May. We sold them for $45. Then we went to $55. And then the day of the fair here, starting on Thursday, we'll go to $60. But still, though, $45. Where do you go for 4 days and get into your county fair and get to see what you want to? And that you go everywhere.
This is a comment from a man who's in a very good mood right now and is going to be in a very good mood for at least a full week, for quite a while. So, but I was. Big class lineup out there. What else we have? What do we have going on out there in Wayne this Friday?
So just like what Gage posted there, you know, so it's your $20, and we have a free barbecue. We feed all the pullers right up on the north end of the track under tents. They're all fed up there. So I mean, you know, it's barbecued beef and pork, you know, but it's a full meal, whatever anybody wants, you know. So we just appreciate them. You know, it's just kind of giving a little thanks back to them. So that's kind of what we always done. And that's kind of a little bit of our hospitality to thank everybody for coming.
Yeah. No, it's an amazing event. I really hope. I hate to jinx it, but how's the weather looking? I haven't had a chance to look yet, Kev.
We're looking good. I mean, we're going to be, I don't think it's going to be quite as bad as last year, Jason, but we're going to be in the mid 80s. It looks like we've dodged all the rain now, so we'll be good. We worked the track today. We had some wet spots, got them pretty much taken care of. So got all that done. So we should be good to go.
Mike, I ran the roaming camera at the start line last year, and I think I lost 27 pounds that night. But I needed to, so I'm not.
That was your singular diet. You know, you said you had a big weight loss last year. You know, that was we talked about this. You can't lose weight without finding it somewhere. So you know where you lost it. It's waiting for you out there in Wayne. So if you're wanting to put it back on, it's out there in Wayne waiting for you.
Yeah,
well, I found it over this winter, so don't worry. We're good.
it was in storage.
It was hot, I'll tell you that.
Without a doubt. Well, Ken, we're going to wrap up here. We're going to move on. But thanks for coming on tonight.
You bet.
It's going to be a fantastic weekend. I hope you fill those grandstands up. I'm sure you will. And you bust your ass for that fair. Yeah. And I know you're super passionate about it. You're very, very passionate. We have a lot of conversations offline. And and that's what it takes to make, you're always looking for the next thing. The best promoters I see them at other big events going, what can I take from these guys to take it back to my event? And I know and you're one of those guys. And I think that's pretty cool. So
yeah, you got to pull something from somebody else. and kind of tag it in somewhere on yours what you can change to make it better. Because one thing we are doing this year, I'm putting Mike Dunklow's tractor on the track and Rod Deck's tractor on the track. And Ron's going to give a little prayer over the deal because both of them pullers from Wayne County, and they've pulled here for years. Pullers we've lost and their tractors are still here. So, and then with all the pullers that we've lost over the year with the Outlaws, I mean, it gets to be a lot of them, but where these two guys were right here, I think I kind of wanted to do that this year. So I'm going to have both tractors, one come on the starting line and one at the 300 and come to center right there. And then Ron will give a little prayer and then we'll do the national anthem.
Awesome. I love what you're doing, Kevin. So you have a good night. We'll see you soon, buddy.
All right. See you guys. Thanks.
Yeah, Kevin.
Thanks, Kevin.
Kevin Davis, Wayne, Nebraska. We're going to switch gears now. We're going to head east to Fort Recovery, Ohio. And we're going to play a couple of our commercials. But seriously, Outlaw fans or anybody out in that Northwest Iowa, what did he say? It's that corner of Nebraska,
Northeast Nebraska, Northwest
Nebraska,
Iowa.
South Northwest Iowa. It's a good one. Whatever. It's freaking just
I-29. I-29. If you're around I-29.
Google it. Don't be a ding dong. Google it. So, all right. I got Fort Recovery and Makeup. They're back there. I see some. I think they're gonna chug a beer quick, and then I'll bring them on live. So, Kenzie, do what you do, and I gotta do what I do. And here we go.
Conventional combine concaves cause damage to small grains and contribute to significant crop loss over time. Luckily, Bauer-built concaves has perfected the design for John Deere and Case IH equipment. Call them today.
I screwed up, Mike.
The world's #1 racing and performance marketplace. Cars, parts, antiques, trailers, and so much more. RacingJunk.com.
Contact Corsa today and ask about their Pullers packages that give you all the information you need to know about your engine. Get your $25 bonus at Full Pull Picks by using promo code BEERMO. Deposit a minimum of $5 and make your picks at fullpull.us today.
You're supposed to hit it when I say hit it. You don't yell at me, friends. There are promoters. They pay us to do this. No, play the video. Where's it at? Mike, this happens every day. It's train wreck here at Beer Money Pulling Team headquarters.
Did you say that you messed up? There's a first time for everything, Jason Schultz.
Oh, geez. It's every 5 minutes.
Join us for the 2024 Fort Recovery NTPA Grand Nationals, presented by Angry Farmer Products. 3 action-packed sessions over 2 days, July 26th and 27th at Fort Recovery Ambassador Park. Weekend passes only $60. For tickets and camping information, visit fortpool.com.
We did it. Welcome, Fort Recovery. Who do we got? Are you guys, they're still muted. Can you guys unmute yours? Oh, you said you're going to use your computer audio, right? Your phone audio? I can't hear him. Shit. Let's see here. I can try to unmute him.
No.
I swear it's a good tractor pull and they got good sound, but we're going to just work through this podcast thing here. No, Matt had messaged me in the chat saying that they were having some issues with their speaker. Oh, there they are.
Oh, I feel good about it.
Computer audio working?
Yeah, we got him. So you got us, guys? Can you hear us?
Yeah, we got you.
Ooh, there's that echo
Yeah,
somehow.
because
Okay.
Feedback.
So turn off the sound. Yeah. Nope.
No, the wrong
Now they're
sound.
muted. Wrong sound. Turn off the other one. I swear it's a great tractor pull.
Yeah.
For Recovery, Ohio. Really
No,
looking
it's-
forward to it.
I have some stories I can tell from the north side hill at Fort Recovery. It's a trip going out to this pull.
Say something, guys.
How's it going? Nope.
Okay, do you have like your phone on and the stream somewhere by any chance? Because you got like 2 devices and they're talking to each other. So
My phone is my speakers.
perfect.
Yeah, that'll work.
Can you
That
hear us
work?
now?
Yeah. Now
Okay.
we're rocking and rolling.
All right. So who do we got? Who do we got with us tonight? Talk to us.
I am Matt Forkamp. I'm Dale Brunswick. I'm promoter. Both of us promoters.
Oh, is he two of them on?
I think so.
No, that's Ken and Dale. No, we're okay. It's just echoing on their names. We're okay.
Yep.
We're okay. We're okay. We're just trying. The echo's not as bad, is it, Mike? Ish. Hey, Matt, are you just using just your phone right now, or what do you got going on, bud?
I have the phone and
And that's Dale. I'm gonna kick Dale off. But he's not turned on. He should be okay. But Dale can hear it, I bet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kick Dale. Is that you? Is that the other one, Dale? Yeah, that is. All right. I'm kicking Dale.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Matt, unmute yourself and talk.
you got us now.
Yes. Praise Jesus. Praise Jesus.
Jason
Dale, can you hear
being
me?
the technology genius.
No, I just understand because the devices talk to each other. So let's start over. Matt, introduce yourself. Dale, introduce yourself, and let's start talking about Fort Recovery.
No.
Oh no.
What's wrong? Why can't we hear him? We should be able to hear him.
Yeah, but it just did 3 seconds ago.
Dale, can you log back on with your phone? And then let's kick Matt off. The sound is terrible. Yeah, we're working on it, Todd. Let's Mike, start telling some good Fort Recovery stories.
Yeah, so Fort Recovery, Ohio, and while we're talking about Hell Week, we'll call it Heaven Week, because if you're a pulling fan, this is Heaven Week, no doubt about it. The Outlaws, first of all, we've got 8 shows this week, just to put it in perspective. PPL's got a big week, NTPA has a big week. So here's what I did a couple of years ago. We started in Goshen, Indiana at the Elkhart County Fair. You can do a sweep. You can do Elkhart on Thursday night, Fort Recovery on Friday, and then down to Brandenburg on Saturday. I saw the single 2 longest passes I had ever seen at an NTPA event, both on Friday night at Fort Recovery, both by the same driver. We'll get into that more in a little bit, but Fort Recovery.
Dale, can you hear us?
Yep, we got you.
Okay, perfect.
Now
Thank you,
we're
guys.
good.
Now we're good. So, technology is great when it works, guys. I run live streams on the weekends, and that's why that's why I'm fat and my hair's falling out. That's all I'm going to say. So, it's all good.
I understand.
Welcome to Let's Grow Polling, guys. Thanks for working with us this year. I've heard about Fort Recovery forever. Excited to get out there this weekend. What makes Fort Recovery special, guys?
Fort Recovery's been having this poll for, since 1971 when we bought the property. So it's more than 50 years. Been pulling with NTPA since 73. Yeah. So it's got a lot of history here. We were here to the good times and bad. Went from 1 track to 2 tracks. We hosted the Enderley for, I don't even know how many years, 10, 15 years. It's just a special place for us.
Colin Burkholt's Light Pro Stock Pullers checking in. He says, miss going to the fort. Love the hillside seating and huge crowd. Ran against 30 light pros back then. That's a lot of light pros.
Yeah.
Well, that's light pro country out there in Ohio and Indiana. So
and modified. If I had to say one word that I associated with Fort Recovery, it would be anything related to modified, be it unlimited, modified, mini rod. That's a track and a place that just attracts 10,000 plus horsepower. Would you guys speak to that as well? Would you say that the modified is kind of the bread and butter and the cornerstone of that show and has been for a long time?
Yeah, absolutely. That's they come out. We made good friends with these guys, that come out. Enjoy all of them, talking to them. Those guys, they put on such a great show. The crowd sticks around for them. It doesn't matter, we have rain, got to work on the track, whatever. It doesn't matter if it's 12:30, 1 o'clock. The crowd sticks around. They want to see, they want to see it happen.
It's a really fun venue. People were talking about the hillside seating. This is one of those places on I believe it's the south side. It's pretty much bleachers. And then the north side, there's like a gentle hill with bleachers quite a ways back and a really fun cook shack back there. But you can bring in your own lawn chairs and sit, which is not a way I'd ever experienced pulling until I went to Fort Recovery. But you need to be pretty serious. We got there about 10 o'clock in the morning for a Friday night pull, and most of those lawn chair spots were spoken for. How early and how often do people get out there to start claiming their spot on that party hill on that north side of the track?
Oh, our campers, we get a lot of campers come here, and a lot of times they're setting up staking their claims. What, Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesday, especially Thursday.
Wednesday, Thursday. Thursday is really a big day, but as far as if you want to be sitting at the finish line, the full pull area, you better be out here Tuesday, Wednesday to stake your claim. Otherwise, you're moving back a little bit.
It makes for a fun atmosphere because when you can sit right there in your own selected lawn chair and seats, you end up being best friends with the people that you're sitting with, and it's almost a miniature Bowling Green because they like to indulge over there on that side, and things can get pretty fun. Lessons. I had a sleepy Saturday morning after Fort Recovery after some lessons learned the hard way. You guys in Western Ohio know how to get it done, but it's a great show on the track too. So what keeps the pullers coming year after year?
We always get compliments on the track. How it's always, year after year, it's, everyone says, man, this is a power track. You better drop her down a gear. We hear that all the time. We've been working on the venue itself, putting up new restroom, showers, revamping stuff. We got done redoing our lunch stands. I mean, we're really pushing to try and get things updated around here.
Yeah. The talking about the lunch stands, it and Chapel Hill have some of the most unique ways for the fans to feed themselves. I didn't make it to the south side, but if you are on that hillside seating, you've got this really old school, almost a pavilion, and it's kind of like a cafeteria style. You go through there and you're just telling them how many brats you want and how many this and that, and then it's kind of just a general assumption of how many beers you're taking with you back to your seat. I noticed when you get towards the end of it there, they give you like a sack full of ice, and you just tell them the brand, and you can tell them if you want it more than 6 or right at 6. And that seemed like it was that kind of a part of the atmosphere you guys have going on out there. Is that like a traditional spot where you serve the food and the beer?
Yeah, typically our hillside sells quite a bit more of the beer than we do on the grandstand side. That's like you said, that's more of the party side where people cut loose a little more, and not that there's families and stuff out there having fun too, but that's where it seems like a little more of the campground goers that are here for a good time.
Yeah. You said you've been running with NTPA since 1973. I'd had this kind of guessed in my head. I texted Dan Mayer before we came on the show. I assumed he was the man that would know something like this. I feel like this might be the oldest continuously running NTPA sanctioned pull on NTPA's schedule. Do you guys know if that holds true? If you've been NTPA since 1973, I'm going to guess that's going to make you guys about the oldest pull on their schedule.
I'm not sure. I don't know as far as if other venues have been with NTPA, then dropped and went back with them. I'm not sure. And I know Bowling Green had their 50th anniversary a few years back when I was up there. But, we like to get around and see different polls too. But as far as, I'm not sure on that.
When I was at Bowling Green, I met several blue shirts, volunteers from Bowling Green. Or when I was at Fort Recovery, I met several volunteer workers from Bowling Green. Are those two polls pretty close to each other? And do you guys kind of help each other out a little bit in the middle of the summer?
It's about 2 hours away to get to Bowling Green. I mean, there's some we run into here as fans, just like we go up there as fans.
Sure. And this year, you guys will be running 3 sessions. You switched to a 3-session format. Was that last year, I think? Yes. Is that what we're working with this year? And how do you guys feel about how that's going? And Dan Mayer just texted me back, and he did just confirm it. Fort Recovery is the oldest. It's not the oldest pull on the NTPA schedule, but it is the oldest continuously sanctioned with NTPA. So you guys do hold that honor. How do you like the 3-session setup? Was that a success last year?
It was really good. Like I said, we're getting a lot of campers down here. I think this year so far we've had 200 campers that are registered to camp, and we still
That's a
have
lot of
people.
campers. That's a lot of campers, guys.
That is a lot of campers. Yes.
That's a lot of fun. Camping equals fun. So
Yeah.
Yes, and so they've been asking for years for something to do in the afternoon. So that afternoon, Saturday afternoon session has really worked out well. Giving the campers something to do, it brings in the community. Spectators earlier in the day, they get to walk around the pits in between the two sessions. I think it really worked out well for us.
Even people driving further away, they can come on Saturday and make more of the drive better. They're here longer.
Well, and I think you guys do something kind of neat. You run a Grand National pull, but you sprinkle in some regional national classes alongside of it. So by going to a 3-session pull, it's going to kind of allow you to highlight each of those and kind of give each of them their own stage. Basically, you have a lot of hooks you're wanting to get to, and by splitting it from 2 to 3, it's going to allow that to run smoothly and efficiently. So they say, daytime shows, people always cross their fingers. Did you have good turnouts for that, and you felt pleased with how that one did?
Yeah, our viewership, our spectators, it was pretty good. I mean, it was obviously not as heavy as what Saturday evening was, but for a mostly regional hook event, it was it was a good crowd. I mean, that's I don't know the numbers off the top of my head. We had 1,200 spectators, I think, somewhere in that realm. I think it worked out really well for us. So it's nice because like the light pros, like you said, we have a lot of local light pros that like to come out. The modifieds, the limited pros, the limited pros. We've got a lot of local guys that they're within a half-hour drive of us. So that's where we keep those classes to help support our local people too.
Who are some sponsors, Matt and Dale, that help make this happen for you guys?
Molenkamp Ag Services, Hall Brothers, Trueland Equipment. That's Trueland is a John Deere dealership in the area. Hall Brothers is the Case IH dealership. K&L is the New Holland dealership, and they do Claus choppers and Claus equipment as well. Bobcat of Mercer. The list goes on and on. I don't have them all off the top of my head, but it's a lot.
Obviously Angry Farmers are
Angry
main
Farmers
sponsor.
Yep, he's our title sponsor.
Todd Dugan's a good dude.
He is very good guy.
Stockler Concrete. They always bring their one of their pump trucks out, and they'll set it up at the finish line right past it, hang a giant American flag off of it. So that's always neat.
Premier Crop Insurance out of Ansonia, the Bargy boys.
Yeah.
So just like I said, a lot of good sponsors. I know I'm missing some. I apologize, but it's
we get a lot of help from our local community. That's for sure.
Do you guys what big town? How big is Fort? The town of Fort Recovery?
1,600 people.
Sure. One stoplight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're putting in the second one this week. So
what's the biggest close town? What's the biggest close town, guys? Cincy or
Dayton?
Dayton, you're about an hour and a half. Lima, Ohio's you're an hour.
Yeah.
Like I said, Bowling Green's 2 hours north of us.
How far is Indianapolis? You guys are right on. I mean, Indiana is like at the end of the track, it feels like.
Yeah.
You're right on the Indiana line.
Yeah. Indy's about 2 hours from us. So from Fort Recovery, you're about an hour and 10 minutes to Dayton, hour to Lima, hour to Fort Wayne, 45 minutes to Muncie. We're pretty much centrally located between those four. And then beyond that, like Bowling Green's 2 hours, Columbus is 2 hours, Cincinnati's 3 hours, Indy's 2 hours, Toledo 2.5. So yeah.
So if the town's got 1,500 people in it, how many people are in? Do you notice that? So that's a small town with a big pool, a historic pool. I mean, really, this is one of the more historic NTPA pools. How does it feel like the town is bursting at the seams during pool weekend?
You definitely notice a lot more traffic, that's for sure.
You get the Fort Recovery traffic jam right down there on the outskirts of town at Ambassador Park.
Yeah, that's for sure. People
Matt and Dale, we're
park
going to let you
wherever
go
they
here
can
in a
find.
Matt and Dale, I'm going to let you go here in a minute, but I want to ask you two questions. What local puller is this as their hometown pull?
Chris Shoemaker, Ron
and Derek
Bargy,
family.
Todd Seacrest.
Yeah, two-wheel drive. He's Salina. Those are the three main ones off the top of our head.
And then
Yeah,
what is your
Grand National?
Dale, what is your why? Why do you do this? It's a lot of work.
Oh, it's just need something to do as far as, put my time into the community. And I always enjoyed watching. I used to come up here and help, and just kind of started coming to meetings and more involved. And then the previous promoter that took care of like the NTPA side, he was wanting to step down, so I took his spot, and then Matt took on the role of the other guy that does more like the sponsorship side of it. So we kind of split the roles up a little bit.
Nice. And then Matt, you're more focused on sponsorship then?
I am try and work with the people that it makes sense. If our event can help them out, I'm all about it. I'm not gonna go knock on everyone's door. That if I don't feel like that it's gonna benefit them, I don't feel there's a good reason for them to be a sponsor. We're not begging for money. We're trying to help out the community, and if it doesn't help the community member out, there's no reason to be asking them for a sponsorship or anything like that.
Yeah, you want to be a good fit,
right?
And we're excited with Full Pull, guys. We're gonna have some real money wagering going on out there, as well as we're gonna be doing the live stream out there. So I think that's gonna put a bigger spotlight on the event as well. So we're really, really looking forward to that. So
yeah, that's we're looking forward to having you guys come out. That's gonna be we've had the live stream through the NTPA, but I think Full Pull is going to take it to the next level.
Yeah, we're off to a good start. I would say that Benson, North Carolina, we all wanted to kill ourselves Friday night, and then but it's gotten way better since then. And if you watch Chapel Hill Saturday night, we're pretty proud of what we were able to knock out of the park there on Saturday night. It takes time. We're starting to work as a team and trying to show you stuff that you've never seen before on a live stream. So we're having a lot of fun with that. We're really looking forward to Fort Recovery. I think the guys are to start heading up Wednesday, and then the rest of us will start rolling in Thursday and Friday. So it's gonna be fun. So
we'll be up here.
Awesome, Matt, Dale. Thank you, and we'll see you in a couple days. Good luck this weekend.
Yep. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hope to see everybody come out.
Thank you.
Yep. Fort Recovery, Ohio. Michael, it's a good one.
It's a lot of fun. And it's the oldest NTPA, continuously ran NTPA pull on their schedule. Like Bowling Green's older, but Bowling Green had been USHRA or something. Chapel Hill had been USHRA. Fort Recovery, it's the oldest NTPA pull. So awesome. A lot of history there.
We're coming back to the great state of Wisconsin. That's where I live here. We're going to go to Sheldon, Wisconsin. Oh, Kenzie lives there too. Sometimes
Kenzie can say more silently than you and I can say with a paragraph.
Kenzie's my co-pilot. Okay. So, I'm gonna bring in Ryan here in a little bit. We'll play a couple Let's Grow Pulling commercials, and then we'll jump into that. Already? Here we go. I'm gonna try not to screw up this time, Mike. Here we go.
The Pullers Championship is presented by a team of people with a commitment to the sport of pulling and a need to give back to the sport they love. The Pullers Championship was not created to be exceptional. It was created to be the exception.
Holiganics.
I screwed. Come on.
Holiganics Midwest. Put life back into your soil by improving your soil health, enhancing your root systems, and delivering increased crop yields. Revolutionize the way you farm today.
Casper Ag Solutions, here to help you make sense of precision ag. Contact Ed today.
Shop for quality Kawasaki parts, accessories, and gear at KawasakiPartsWarehouse.com.
Join us for the second annual Sheldon Fire Department Truck and Tractor Pull on July 26th and 27th. The Western Wisconsin Truck Pullers take the stage on Friday, followed by the Mid-State Pullers of Wisconsin on Saturday. Don't miss out on the action-packed thrills of roaring engines and fierce competition. Admission is just $10 for both nights. Mark your calendars and be there to experience the excitement. See you at the Sheldon Fairgrounds.
Ryan, can you hear us, buddy?
I can, yep.
Welcome. How's the weather looking for this weekend?
I just looked today. It looks like it's going to be sunny. I don't think there's any rain in the forecast, so it should be good.
I like it. And as a promoter, if there is rain in the forecast on Monday, I'm like, oh, we got 5 days. And then if it's really good, I'm like, oh, yay, life is good. Life is good. No, it's seriously like the busiest month of the year. Starting now. I mean, fair season, Ryan. Let's talk about your event a little bit. What do you got going on? 2 nights? Are you kind of run the same associations, or what do we got going on?
So on Friday night, we're bringing in the Western Wisconsin Truck Pullers. Be mostly trucks. We have a lot of guys committed to coming to this event on Friday night. Not only do we have the tractor pull or the truck pull, we also have the craft show that's going to be taking place both nights. That's going to be all the proceeds for that are going to the fire department as well. Something new for the kids on Saturday night. We're bringing in kiddie tractor pull for the kids to get a chance to compete, maybe go to state.
Well, that's pretty cool. So the fire department, this is a big fundraiser for the fire department, right, Ryan? Like they make this baby happen?
Absolutely. It's our biggest. We do about 4 fundraisers a year, and this is by far the biggest. Yep.
Awesome. I love it when charities get involved. I was just down in Chapel Hill last week, and the Lions Club do that. I don't know how else you could get volunteers nowadays, Ryan, to be honest with you. I think even with your fire department, it's probably still hard to get everything staffed up. There's a lot of stuff going on in 2 days, buddy. I think that is a cool, stressful thing. So,
yeah, it definitely takes a lot of work from everyone.
So what kind of crowds do you typically get there, and what kind of numbers as far as pullers are concerned? I'm just kind of looking over your classes you have here. Talk to us about how many hooks they might see and how many people might be showing up to have a great time.
So last year we had I want to say just under 90 hooks, and that was just a one-night show.
Yeah.
With the mid-state pullers.
So that's a lot of iron then. And we're looking at right here, is the mid-state show, is this the Friday night show or the Saturday night show?
Mid-state is going to be there on Saturday night.
Okay, so on Saturday night we've got what is that? 8 total classes: altered stock trucks, super stock trucks, king of the street diesel trucks, pro street diesel, 6,000 pound.
That king of the street is cool, Ryan. That is kind of, I don't know. I mean, I know some guys who run in that, and it's kind of like, oh, they're not. Are those still street? Are those daily drivers still, Ryan? Are those getting trailered in? Those king of the street trucks?
No, they're beefed up.
Okay,
they're definitely not your street trucks.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I couldn't remember if they're driving them in or if they're bringing them in on trailers or hauling them in. I couldn't remember. So.
Yeah, most of them come in on trailers.
That's what I figured.
Mm-hmm.
So they're probably bigger than 2.6. It's kind of run what you brung, Mike, is what I'm trying to say. It's a lot.
But are they street legal, or are we exclusive? That's kind of what I'm curious about. And because I've seen some like Northwest Missouri tractor pullers had some that, towed that line back and forth. We used to ride around in our buddy's pulling truck on the weekend and just keep our fingers crossed that, we didn't see any lights behind us. So there's some that get in the gray areas there.
Yep, absolutely.
So that's kind of what we're looking at then,
Yep.
No. So we've got four truck classes, 4 tractor classes, 6,000 pound hot farm, 6,500 pound light limited supers. That's the internet's favorite class. You say the word light limited super stock and the internet catches on fire. 8,000 pound limited pro stock tractors and 11,000 pound altered farm. Hey, Jason, what are 8,000 pound limited pros? Everyone knows 9,500 limited pro. Is this going to be closer to like what we would call like LLPs? Or are these like our light limited pros? Okay.
Yep. There's a strong with Western and strong Central Wisconsin pullers, Northern Wisconsin. They have strong associations, but everybody pulling, we've joked about this for years. Pullers do a horrible job naming their classes. We took 5 pro, super light limited and farm, and then we just put 37 classes and shook up a hat like how they we do that. And then it's like I'll talk to different promoters like, what's LLP? And then, well, this association exists and this association.
Yeah. And you have to be careful announcing between associations, because what I might call an LLP, other people might prefer to be called something different. You can't just slap that verbiage across the way. You gotta make sure you're saying it right. But so this is going to be comparable to like your 466 cubic inch, 3-inch charger, 24 5s on the back. So I would guess.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
I found I found a cool shot of I found some Google Earth here. This looks like the pulling track. Ryan, do you? Wait for my screen to get up here. Come on, internet. You can do it.
It's
Kenzie.
thinking about it.
It's trying.
That's up on mine.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
There it is. Does that look like your place, big guy?
Yep, that's a old picture, I would say, but yes, that is the pulling track. In between the bleachers there.
Yeah, I typed it into Google Earth. I've been swinging it around. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't remember if we talked about this.
Do you have any pictures on the Facebook page, Ryan?
Yeah. Yep. There's some pictures on there.
Is this a standalone event, or is this, and if we talked about this already and I was not paying attention, I'm sorry, but is this a standalone event, or is this in conjunction with a larger homecoming or fair?
Did you just admit you're not paying attention? Did you just admit you're not paying attention, Michael, on our podcast?
Strong speaker, poor listener.
Ryan, we have way too much fun.
Standalone. Okay, so this is, and that makes it fun, because then you can market it as that, and people know like we're going to the tractor pull, and the money goes back to the fire department. This is going to benefit something that then you guys use to benefit the community. Is that how all this is going down?
Correct. Yep.
Love it. Yeah, absolutely. No one, those fire departments, those are things that nobody thinks of until you really, really need them. And then in that moment, you're hoping that they're incredibly well funded. So, get out there, folks, and watch some good iron go down the track, because it's going to go back to something that, we had a fire emergency in Lee on Friday night. We almost had to stop the show because the fire truck that was our main fire truck at the show had to leave and go put out a grass fire. So these things happen, they're real. Yep. So $10 to get in both nights.
$10 both nights. $10 Friday, $10 Saturday. Yep.
$10 for 90 hooks. That's worth every dime every day of the week for sure.
Yep.
Ryan, I'm assuming this is probably the biggest celebration your town has each year.
Oh, by far. Yep.
Good.
That was kind of our goal, was to put Sheldon back on the map. Other than the railroad tracks
going through Sheldon. Make Sheldon, Wisconsin great again? Is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah, absolutely.
Jason, have you been to Sheldon? How far is Sheldon from the Beer Money headquarters?
Is it 3 hours? Probably, Ryan, from Richland Center? Not 2.5?
Yeah, 2.5.
Ryan, you're a puller, aren't you?
No.
I thought you had a gas truck.
Oh no.
No. He's smarter than that. Way to go, Ryan.
If you could,
he doesn't hate his money. He doesn't hate his money, Mike.
if Jason Schultz would have accused Mike Idle of being a 4-wheel drive truck driver, I would have ran with that. I used that in well, I won't tell that story, but I used that in college one time, and it was fun was had. I told a little white lie, but if someone accuses you of being a puller, you say, "Heck yeah, I drive."
Heck yeah, I drive. Local pullers, Brian. I always feel like local pullers really draw in the crowd. What local pullers are close to Sheldon? This is kind of they lay stake that this is their hometown pull.
So the Anders
Yes.
on Saturday night are local pullers. They did a lot as far as helping us with setting up the track, building the track last year. A few other ones I know of. Larry Anderson just posted on our Facebook today that he's going to be there on Friday night for the truck pulling event.
And this is a Friday and a Saturday night show, but different organizations each session. Is that right?
Correct. 2 different sanctioning bodies. Yep.
Right. Now, would you say that the show being put on is going to be fairly comparable, or do each of them kind of come with their own style and their own flavor? Will you use the same sled both nights, or are they going to have their own sled provider each night?
No, we'll be have the same sled both nights. I'm not sure because this is our first 2-day event with these 2 series. So
well, Mike, Western is more truck pulling with their Western Wisconsin truck pullers, and Saturday night's a little more tractor oriented with Mid-State. And I'm guessing they'll have the same sled. I don't know many. Like, I'm assuming. Do you know what sled you have Friday night, Ryan? Is it Brzezinski or who you have up on that? Track Patrol?
Yes, that sounds familiar.
Oh, Randy Proctor says Jason thinks he's a puller. No, I own a tractor. It doesn't mean I'm a puller. I own a tractor.
You drove it this year, Jason.
I drove it to the starting line, and I didn't even get to the starting line because I had starter issues. So I'm going to stick to just running live streams and promoting pulls, letting my dad and them drive it. So Michelle said, "Yeah, it's Track Patrol. I'm sure you'll have them both nights."
Yeah,
and they do a good job. They do a good job.
Absolutely.
Any big sponsors that you want to thank?
Yeah, man, we have so much support from the community, and not only our close community, but near and far. Beal Transport from Sheldon Corner Store, Scabrod's Grocery Store, Chippewa Valley Mechanical, Full Throttle Dairy, River Country Co-op, and Close Farms are some of the bigger sponsors. There's a long list I could go down. We appreciate each and every one of our sponsors that help put this show on. Obviously, without the sponsors, there wouldn't be a show. We wouldn't be able to do this. So we're very thankful for all the sponsors that jump on board.
What made you guys think to go to a 2-day show like this, Ryan? Because that's a lot of work, buddy. But it's also kind of makes sense. We're set up. Let's see if we can party both nights in a row, or what's the story?
We're living by the saying, "Go big or go home."
Yes. Don't be a pussy. Don't be a pussy.
Exactly. No, we talked about it and thought that, you know what, we did it. Our first year was such a success that maybe we can do that 2 days this year, and we'll see how it goes.
I like it. Friday night, with 2 associations, you'll kind of almost trade your crowd a little bit and trade all your pullers in. Don't freak out about Friday night. Friday night crowds are tougher to get. I see it everywhere I go because people got to get off of work and they got to get there. A lot of times it'll fill in as the night goes on. But if you have a nice Friday night crowd and your announcer says, "Hey, let everybody know we're going to be back here tomorrow night," hit your social media hard, you can really make it standing room only Saturday night, Ryan. That's kind of my experience with all that. So,
yeah, absolutely. Last year was so amazing. The feedback we got from all the spectators, we just could not believe how good the first year was, and we're hoping this year's even better.
Good stuff. Well, anybody you want to thank here tonight, Ryan, before we let you go, or anything? Any other? Do we miss anything? Got you all covered?
No, I think that's about it. We got our craft show, like I said. You know, we also involved the Cloudwalkers 4-H club. They come and sell ice cream, and then all of the proceeds they make go to their 4-H program. So that's a good deal. Also new this year is we're having a beer garden. We didn't have that the first year, but this year we made it work, and that's going to be something new. Otherwise, just a huge thank you to all the members of the department. Like you guys said earlier, this doesn't just happen overnight and get put together by one person. It definitely takes the whole crew.
Oh, yeah. What time showtime both nights? One final time for everyone listening.
On Friday, the show starts at 7 o'clock, and on Saturday, it starts at 6 o'clock.
Okay, so Sheldon, Wisconsin, benefiting the fire department. 7 o'clock on Friday, the Western Wisconsin Truck Pullers.
Yep.
And then 6 o'clock Saturday evening is the, tell me again, the Tri or
Mid-State Pullers of Wisconsin.
Mid-State Pullers of Wisconsin. You can buy ice cream that's going to support the 4-H kids, and fresh into town this year, a brand new beer garden. You can't beat that. That's excellent.
Hey, Ryan, what's your favorite food to eat there at your event?
I'm going to have to go with a hamburger from Lumpy's Burger Shack.
Okay. All right, stop. Lumpy's Burger Shack.
I was going to say, you don't need to even tell me
I was gonna
another
let you go. Ken Whitson makeup. We're going to throw some hose down in Houston here in a little bit. Yeah, he just gave me the thumbs up. Tell me about Lumpy, Ryan.
So he's one of our assistant
What's it called,
chiefs.
Ryan? Lumpy's what?
Lumpy's Burger Shack.
Google Lumpy's Burger Shack. We got to give him a shout out. So
he's assistant chief on the fire department, and
why is he lumpy? Is he a big feller? Is he a big feller, Ryan? Lumpy?
Nah.
I mean, you don't want to call him fat on air, but I mean, I'm 270. I'm a big fella. I'm overweight. I sweat easy. But everybody calls me Schultz. That's my last name. But I don't know, Lumpy. How do you get a nickname, Lumpy? A lot of them start getting drunk with your friends, Tuma. That happens a lot. I've noticed. That's where nicknames come from. Then they kind of stick. So, sorry. Back to you, Ryan. Tell us about Lumpy.
So the food stand that we have down at the fairgrounds, we call it Lumpy's Burger Shack. He does all the food for. We also hold 2 mud bogs, and then the truck and tractor pulls. That's where all the food is cooked. Not quite sure how they come up with Lumpy's Burger Shack. That was before my time, but definitely makes some delicious food.
Well, Ryan, that's your homework this weekend. I need to know why it's Lumpy's Burger Shack. Okay? Did you find them on the web at all?
Are they from Eagle River?
Oh no, this is just
So there's another place called Lumpy's Bar and Grill that's in Eagle River.
Yeah, but that's Bar and Grill. The Burger Shack. If you're gonna nothing to take away from the Bar and Grill place, I'm sure that's wonderful. But if you're gonna start with Lumpy's, Burger Shack has to be what follows that. Like that's I'm not going to the Bar and Grill. I'm going to the Burger Shack.
That's right. Yeah, it's not a restaurant or nothing like that. We only use it, like I said, for our special events and do amazing cooking and delicious food.
I love it. Ryan, thanks for working with us this year. I hope we put a bigger spotlight on your event. I hope you fill that place up Friday night and Saturday night, big guy. So,
all right. Thank you for having me. I appreciate all you guys do.
Yep. Take care, buddy.
Thanks. You too.
Lumpy's Burger Shack, Mike. I'm gonna ask Whit if they have like a Houston Ho Throwdown kind of a deal.
Yeah.
So we used to promote Churn and Dirt, and I used to hate Houston, Minnesota, because it was on the same Saturday as ours in Richland Center. But I just hated that. And Whit's just pointing at me in the background. What people don't realize is, like, I wanted to have the Badger State pull because I had a hot farm and I pulled Badger State. That was the only open weekend, and it sucks, Mike. Like, remember when Rock Valley and Rockwell were on top of each other?
Yes.
And they got up?
Yes.
What people don't realize is, like, these dates are set, and it's hard. But Houston, they have a freaking huge crowd, and they do a good job, and they have a hell of a pull. I don't know if Mr. Yuck's going to get out. We'll ask Ken there in just a second. But we used to have, so it was churning dirt. That was what was my event, Mike, that I got started here in Richland Center. And because I ran the creamery for my in-laws and we made butter. So instead of churning butter, I said, we're going to churn some dirt. And then we had a dirt burger, which was a triple cheeseburger. And it was like $10, Mike. And it was, I'm in the Knights of Columbus. And that's how we got all our things going. And we called it the dirt burger. That was kind of our thing. So when he said lumpy, I was like, yeah, that's awesome. So if fans, if you're watching, we got a bunch of people watching tonight. Let us know, like, give us some fun things like that. And then, so it looks like Ken's out of makeup. And I got Mike. Why do you think he calls his tractor Mr. Yuck? Is it because it's a John Deere idol, or what?
I can picture the side of it. It's got kind of the iconic face on the side of it. It's an alcohol burner, isn't it?
Yep, it's a heavy. It's an LP
because those alcohol burners, and you know I like them, Jason, but there's always a gremlin in them, and they're just either going to light or they're just going to, half the time. So that's always what I thought about the name of it. Are we close, Ken? Is that why we call it Mr. Yuck?
You're close. You're close. There's several things that went into effect on that, and it's just one, the old poison sticker. I'm old. Back when I was in grade school in the 80s, we got sent home with these little poison Mr. Yuck stickers, and they stuck them on every poison jug or something underneath, and it was a sticker that every kid that age took home with them, and they kind of stuck with us. And then also, we ran the Mr. Yuck as a diesel for I think around 2-3 seasons, and we knew we were going to the alcohol. And at that time, the alcohol diesel war was pretty heavy, and the alcohol tractors had a negative stigmatism to them. So we thought that Mr. Yuck, it's going to be poison to them diesel tractors. So that's kind of where she's coming from.
I like it a lot. Ken, welcome to Let's Grow Pulling Houston Hoedown this Saturday. I said earlier, I didn't even mean to do it, but I said they're going to throw a hoedown, and then Mike said, well, we got to pick her up. So that's, I don't know. That could be a good
pick her up. Yep.
Yeah, after 10, Ken, that's kind of when we go a little crazy. And I haven't had my Tito's and soda yet. I'm going to have that at 10. So I guess we'll just see if we're still
tempting.
Have you, in all seriousness, have you had Mr. Yuck out this year yet?
I have not.
I saw you up in Taylor on that John Deere 4430, I think.
4030.
4030. And that was one of your buddies?
The 4030 is actually the first tractor I ever pulled. So that's the one that I've had. It was my dad bought it new, and first tractor I ever pulled back when I started. And a buddy of mine up there, we had that 4450 or 4255 that's got the old Bach Nasty John sheet metal on it. That's a little tractor we threw together for Buddy Dustin there, and it's been going real well. So
okay, good.
Mr. Yuck has kind of been sitting idle. I've got 3 boys that are 10, with the grandchild, 10, 11, 12, and 13, and 3 different baseball teams. So June and July, we're a baseball family now. It's the kids' time. The tractor pulling's kind of taking a break right now. I've got a bad itch. I ain't going to lie. Running down to Tolman, helping out a friend of mine down there, it's got the bug going, something bad. We're doing our best to try and get it ready for Saturday night. We're waiting on a clutch cam. That's all the tractor needs. So if we get that here in time and we get her put on, you'll see it Saturday night.
No, it's just fun to pull at your hometown event, Ken, because everybody knows you have a big tractor and they see you leaving town in the semi and they're like, hey, what's inside there? And then once a year you get to kind of break it out. So
yeah, yep. No, the last couple of years we've had it out. It's only been 2-3 hooks a season. It's unfortunate. But family comes first right now. And we've had a few changes in the whole dynamic at home on the farm and everything too. I lost my dad last year, and it's primarily him and I that run the operation, and so it's a growing curve. So we're just working through that, and we're going to get we'll be back out someday. I know the boys they ask when we're going pulling, but I don't want to take away their time.
No, and you'll never get the baseball time back and all that stuff. So yeah, pulling will still be there for you. How did the Houston Hoedown start? It's kind of like a city festival for you guys, or what do you got going on there, Ken?
Yep, it's our town festival. Started in '73 as Oh, a couple street dances. I think there was some gymkhana, horsing events, dances, that type of thing. When it started out, there was a group of guys around that decided that maybe they'd have a tractor pull about the same time, and there's another group that started with a horse pull. Everything kind of meshed back together, and 50 years later, we're still going strong with horse pulls, tractor pulls, and dances and parties. So that's kind of our long story short.
No, I like it. Well, that's where the hoedown comes from. So
yeah, yep, yeah, and it's there's a lot of volunteers. I mean, I've been on the board now this is my 29th year being on the hoedown board. We have one gentleman that's on right now. He's been on since day one. He will be retiring after this event, but he's 50 years he's putting into it. So, we had back, you get in the 80s and the 90s there, before the whole internet and where anybody could be across the world in a couple clicks, sound festivals were the thing everybody looked forward to. And, we had multiple times, for a town of 900 people, we ranked up in the top 5 attended events in the state of Minnesota following the state fair, Renaissance Festival, and that type of thing. So that was kind of a big feather in our hat. Now times have kind of changed a little bit, and everybody knows how easy it is to find something to do now. But this town will just explode with people over this weekend. So
no, you get gigantic crowds. It's one of those events. I wish it wasn't probably one of the busiest weeks of the year, Ken, but like we talked about, it just happens. You got to grab your date when you can. I know you got United Pullers in Minnesota, and then do you have state or do you have region classes there this weekend?
We're running region classes and state classes. So the heavy super, light super, diesel pickups, and the super stock 4x4 are all regional classes.
Okay.
Yeah, and you say that, and we're stacked right on top of Menominee. Menominee is the exact same night. Yep. There isn't one NTPA open class for Saturday if you wanted to book it somewhere. We're between Menominee and ourselves, we've got every class used up.
It's crazy.
So yeah, I've many times, and when you had the churn and dirt, I want to go down there and pull, but how can I leave home?
No, you can't. Yeah, because I would grab Tri-State on Friday night, and then sometimes they'd come up there on Saturday night.
Yep,
and then,
back in the day we did. Yep.
We got rained out 5 till 17, 18, 19, 20, and then COVID happened, and all my guys are just like, Jason, this is too much work, and we get rained out every year, and they said they're done. So there we go. So I'm flipping through some photos right now while we chat. Clayton from Foggy Bottom Images goes up and takes awesome photos. You can, if you want to talk about any of these, you sure can. Otherwise, I'll just kind of keep flipping through them. So.
Well, I think it just shows the community involvement that we have with this event. Right from down to Scouts. That's my nephew driving my dad's tractor. That tractor's been to every single hoedown since day one.
That's cool.
Pulling and prepping the track. So third generation on it. So it's kind of that one gets a little tight.
No, I get it.
If you know what I mean.
It tugs on the emotional string a little bit.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because my dad was one of the original men that got together, and we worked there to get the tractor pull starting. And I hate to say any names because I might forget some, but a lot of those original founders, it's now it's us, the sons that are going on, and now we're looking for another generation to keep this event going. And there's our royalty there. They make an appearance or come through or ride on the Packer tractor, blade tractor. But yeah, there's a lot of hours that go into this and keep it going. And I just wish we had more space. We're maxed out in our pit area. We keep trying to find a place to squeeze the bleacher, and we make a space, it fills up, and it's a wonderful problem to have.
Yep.
But no, and then we run the like we've been talking about with the NTPA show, and Friday night we start off with a farm class, and we run the heavier farm class tractors with some improved stock and a couple diesel pickup classes and a stock semi class.
Okay.
And then our Saturday morning we start out with 4,500 pound farm tractors, and we run them all the way through 9,500 pounds prior to the start of the NTPA show on Saturday night.
Yes, you guys, there's no rest for the wicked, Ken, is what you're saying.
Yeah, we're right back with the parade, grand parade on Sunday at noon. As soon as that's done, the horse pull takes over, and they've got quite a lineup. The gentleman that's been working on the horse pull, they're doing quite a deal for this 50th anniversary for that, and got some teams coming from long distances. And I don't get around to horse pulls too much, but from what I hear, it's a pretty good event, and sounds like it's going to be one to watch.
Yeah, I've been to one once. I think it was the Iowa State Fair or something like that. Ken, I don't remember exactly, but it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. It's very different. And honestly, it's kind of how it all started for us crazy truck and tractor pullers to where we are today.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Clay he got some pictures of one year. He hung around to Sunday and took some on of the horse pull and things like that.
Let me see if I can find them. Man, how many people can you hold in that place? There's a lot of
That's
people.
what I was just thinking. Your crowd looks awesome.
I shared it on my Facebook page, but there's a drone photo that was taken last year that's absolutely
Is it on your personal page, Ken?
That's on my personal page. Yep, I shared it on there, and we figure around 5,000 people in there. And
that's awesome.
I think it's every single one of them, and that's might be conservative. It's standing room only. Saturday night, it's wonderful. You pull out on the track, and all you can see is faces and heads as far as you can see. What better feeling?
No, that as a promoter, that is the happy place when you look around, Ken, and all these people are here because you and your friends got together and you did something pretty cool. It's a good feeling. All the freaking work and the yelling and the screaming and the arguing, and we're gonna do it this way. And it's just
the last
everybody's
minute
got an opinion.
surprises when a transformer goes out and the town goes black a half hour before the pull starts. That was a interesting night for us, but we work it through. We make it happen. So
when did that happen?
I believe that was 2 years ago now. Not last year, but the year before. There's the aerial shot.
Yeah, that's a great photo.
And there you can see our fest building and the dance floor where the band is playing, and we've got our little food trucks and everything out there. So
that's a hoedown, Mike. That's a Minnesota hoedown, not a Missouri hoedown, Mike. Where you're from. That's a Minnesota hoedown.
Yeah,
I like Minnesota. Minnesota's a wonderful state. We vacationed up there 3 years ago. I would go back to Minnesota in a heartbeat.
It's the best place I've lived.
You're too busy this weekend.
Yeah, that's true.
Ken Wick joining us, promoter of the Houston Hoedown this weekend. So Friday night's kind of farm classes and some local stuff. Saturday morning, you said garden tractors?
Nope, it's more of the antique and lighter farm stock.
Gotcha.
It's a pace pull, 4,500 pounds or 9,500. Then we run a couple lighter, improved, or open classes, if you will, depending on where you're coming from.
Do your kids do you have any tractors for your kids to pull during the day, Saturday or Friday night?
Actually, my oldest is 13 this year, so it'll be his first year trying it this year at Hoedown, and he'll be on that 40-30 you saw up in Taylor.
Okay, great. Here's the horse pull here. So found some pictures on Clayton's Facebook page. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
I want to see the sled.
It's got a bunch of cinder blocks on it. There it is.
It's kind of more of, now I'm not into it or know exactly how the rules work and everything, but it's you've seen these dead weight tractor pulls too, where they weight a sled up and you got to move it so far and get so many chances to do it. It's kind of that premises.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I've been to one. It's not farthest distance wins. It's like you have to move the sled 10 feet, and then it's like a high jump at like a track meet. Like if you move it 10 feet, then they're gonna add 100 pounds. Can you do it again? Add another, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So how many times how heavy is the sled when you move it to the required distance or whatever? So
it's more like powerlifting, Michael.
I avoid lifting weights of any kind.
I love this guy.
Long time ago for me as well.
Yeah, I did push-ups once. Just once. So
I was told, however, and this could be one of those Missouri Mike stories. It was at a horse pull. I went to one horse pull, and they said one horse is not 1 horsepower. Like we talk about, like, no, for real, like, you know, like light modified, so it's 3,000 horsepower. This guy actually said by the increment of like what a horsepower is, that an average horse is actually like 17 horsepower. So that could be complete baloney. But this guy announced that 2 horses come out to be the motorsports equivalent of like 34 horsepower. Don't know.
I've not heard that.
That's a beer money after dark discussion topic. Jason, you're muted.
I told
that's because Kenzie and I are laughing at you, but we didn't want to do it on air.
No, you're still on air. I can still see you laughing. Just because I can't hear you doesn't mean I'm not.
We have an alcohol super stock puller on, and you're talking about friggin' how many horses and stuff like that. I'm just like, oh,
You're like my son. He closes his eyes and he thinks he's invisible. Like, I can still see you, man. Like,
nobody's ever asked the size of the horses under the hood of our tractors, though, either. You know,
yeah.
Vast difference in sizes of horses.
Stu says, hook me up to a sled and put on 30 cases of beer and let's see what happens. You know, that's got some potential, actually. Yeah. Some humans, like in like toboggans, and just stack them up with beer, and then the winner takes all the beer. See, Mike?
Dude,
see where we're going here?
That's an idea, my friend. That's an idea. Oh man,
I like that a lot.
Not on the old pulling show.
Ken, does your pulling come from your dad? Did your dad pull back in the day?
Yeah, yep. He pulled an A John Deere, and then that 4020 that you saw. That mostly locally around here, there was a good. I'd say we had 6, 7 towns at one time. They kind of ran the same set of rules, and the guy could you could be chopping hay one day and unhook and go down to the tractor pull with it the next day, and that's what that 4020 did. His A had some mild work done to it, nothing like what by today's standards. But he took me to Toma in 1977, and I was about 4 years old, and I knew I was going to be there someday doing that, and that's what it took. I think I got Mike Linehan's autograph that year. He had the Green Power Special back then. I believe they may have won it then or 78. Met him and autograph and Danny Dean, and I thought this is just a group that I want to be associated with, and that I got to make the dream happen. We won Region 3 Heavy Super in 18. Made 4 appearances at the Enderley. We won it once. I couldn't ask for much more. And then we got out to Shipshewana that first year and made the first one to plant it in the sand and win that night. I never even thought that was a possibility. So I've had some wonderful highlights. If I don't ever hook again, I've had a wonderful career. And I'm just ready to, watch the next generation. If they decide to go after it, if they have the passion, I'll be there to help. Buddy with that 4255, he started driving Yuck now a couple times in the heavy class. That was a picture he had up earlier. Houston, I think he's made 3 passes with it. I get a little older. It might be time for somebody with a little quicker reaction time to be driving it, but it's just I like seeing the new blood come, and new generations come into this and keep the sport alive.
That's a lot of fun. You said you have somebody that's been on your board since the very beginning. They're retiring this year.
Yes. Yep.
How many people are this is a good question. How many people are on your committee that put this on, Ken?
You would think that'd be something I'd know off the top of my head.
I thought that was an easy question, Whit.
All of us that show up on a Sunday night, at the meeting. Normally we have 9 board members. I think we've been running with 8 lately, and we all kind of have, I'm vice chair. Been I don't even remember how many years that's been. Gentleman that's president. We were roommates. He lived with me for a number of years after high school and college. It's just like we're kind of a close group, and Now Ron Evanson is the guy's name. Has been on since the very beginning. He was a dentist here. Most of his local businessman, and worked through with the chamber. Got this hoedown idea started and ran with it. And there's others that it's second generation on this board. So everybody takes a spot. We've got one that takes care of the parades and the queen coronations, and another that takes care of the beer garden. One's in charge of and the entertainment, and we run the full city park is used as well. There's a craft show, vendors there, entertainment, and kid rides. This year we're bringing in pony rides. They're going to be free to the kids Saturday and Sunday, unlimited rides. So we're trying to put stuff out there for the whole family. And that's anything in the park. There's no admission to that. Our event, we've always ran it. It's a button. If you buy a day of event, it's a $20 button. That's good for everything through the entire weekend that happens in the grandstand or on the dance floors. You buy it before Thursday of this week, it's $15. So, and like I say, it's pretty good value if you're able to stick around town and take advantage of more than one night, or that type of thing. So
I like it. Well, it's these festivals, these are kind of what sometimes people come back for. They remember that growing up. We're gonna get back for the hoedown. I come home maybe once at Christmas and I come back for the hoedown. I mean, I see a lot of that at these festivals and big events that we do. And it sounds like you got the entire the entire town involved. So that's cool.
Yeah. I'd hate to take a guess on how many class reunions are happening at the same time, because just everybody comes back. If you're from Houston, you're back for hoedown. Class reunions and every venue's used up. We're not a huge town, but every area in town is used for something, and it is awesome. This is about the time where you've been working for about a year to make it happen again, and you're kind of in that ninth inning where you got to dig deep and you question what your sanity and what you're really working for. But when the people start filtering into town and you see the smiles and the people having a good time, it rejuvenates you, and you're ready to go at it again for next year.
A lot of truth in that statement, because then that when it's done, you're kind of like, I always feel like I have mono for like a week after an event, because you get so amped up and you can literally go on no sleep, and then when it's done, then it's like, oh, and then you're back at it, but you fire back up and get going. So
Yep.
Where do the boys where do they all play baseball at?
We got there's two teams in Houston, and then the neighboring town in Caledonia, they have a 12U team. The actual my son that plays on the Caledonia team, a 12-year-old, they just wrapped up the state 12U tournament up in the cities this past weekend. Didn't get as far as they wanted. They didn't, they made really good strides, but they made it there. I mean, the state tournament for that age is pretty cool to see.
No, it's awesome. I remember when everybody played every sport, and now it's like you pick a sport and you're supposed to be a star, and it's just crazy.
I got 3 boys and they're playing 3 sports. We're going from baseball this week. We wrap it up, I think, Wednesday night with the last game. We have a hoedown, and we start football practice in about maybe 7 to 10 days. So,
awesome. Yeah, park the tractor, honestly, until they're done, because you'll never get that back. My boys are 24 and 22 now, and I never missed anything, but I wasn't always all there either, because I was thinking about going pulling or doing this or whatever. And now that they're gone, I'm like, well, crap. But that's how it goes. That's how it goes.
But this disease is hard to get rid of.
It is. That's why my tractor is the remedy.
I figured that, and it's real easy once you kind of keep away from it. But it takes one event, like going down to Toma and helping out and standing on that starting line and watching a light pro stock go down the track, and it's right back, and heart's beating, and you're ready to go.
Yep, very, very true. Well, Ken, thank you for being a puller. Thanks for being a promoter. Thanks for working with us, and I hope the hoedown is a huge success.
Thank you guys for everything you've been doing for the sport. I'm not comfortable sitting here in front of this computer right now talking to you, I'll be honest, but
you've done great. You've done great.
I couldn't find anybody else to take this job, so it was mine. But we've got a healthy list of if you don't mind if I take just a minute on some
Oh,
sponsors.
no. We got all kinds. You're our last official guest of the night. After this, it's just a bunch of BS. So you can stay on with us. So.
Awesome. I can do that too. But our major sponsor for the Throwdown at Hoedown, that's Rushford State Bank, our local bank. They've been supporting us number of years now, and just the financial contribution has been fantastic from them. We got a couple newer guys coming on this year. Hammernick Diesel, 4x4 up in Winona, Ridgetop Diesel, another truck shop, Schrader Heating and Cooling, Plutz Grain and Excavating, Seacamp Logging and Excavating, Thompson Custom Farming, Don's Repair of Houston, Van Gundy Excavating, Hummel Equipment, Midwest Machinery, the two machinery dealers that are bringing us equipment to use for the pole and everything like that. And then my own Channel Seed dealership supporting this event. So, you know, with those guys, I got to plug them. I mean, they've been doing a hell of a job, and if you've ever been on a board, you get a budget, and
yep.
Though after COVID, things really gotten tightened up, and these guys have stepped up and put their mouth where they've done the work. And so without them, I don't know where we'd be. But right now, we're set up to have one hell of a show.
I as a promoter and as a puller, obviously we want to make more money as pullers. I mean, if you ask me what is my why every day, the cost of pulling continues to go up and the purse is staying the same. That's why I'm excited about full pull. But
absolutely,
as a promoter and a puller, they come to you and say, what's it going to cost to get that class in here? And you're like, you're not ready. If you have to ask, you're not ready. And that's the hardest part about being a promoter, Ken. You want to have every class, but you also don't want to pull till 1 a.m. And oh man, Ken, I've made so many mistakes over the years. Oh Jesus.
Oh,
I remember.
Been there too.
Fun.
But and that's honest truth. And even on this farm stock stuff, we're one of the only places that we still give a trophy. First place gets a trophy, and that's kind of it's a cherished thing around. If you're in this neck of the woods, if you've got one of them and sitting in the shop or walking off with it, it's a pretty big feather to put in a guy's cap. But now some of these other guys that I mentioned here before, one, Terry Hammernick that owns that diesel shop, he's put it out on his Facebook page and kind of done not necessarily a GoFund, but he's just been pushing and promoting for the local truck, the local tractor classes, and he's raised a boatload of money that way. And it's all going right back into prize money for these farm tractors, the grassroots part of it that, giving back to them guys. Because we're all spending the same diesel or gas to get the vehicle there and back home. And that's my goal, is if we can someday get it down to where every guy that shows up, because first place spent just as much as last place to get there, and to get them back next week. I ran years and years, at the bottom end of the class just to get my feet wet and build up, so I understand what it is. I'd love to see our sport get to where everybody that comes and participates goes home with some kind of a check that night.
Yeah. We're going to get there. I promise you. Tony Schultz, good last name, Tony. Let's give a round of applause for Tony's last name.
That's a fellow board member.
He even spells it right, Tony. Well, Schultz has got to stick together. He's watching on YouTube. He says, don't let Ken be too modest. He runs a tight ship, and he learned from a great group of guys. His crew is why we're so successful. Happy hoedown. So Ken, I just have so many marketing ideas with this hoedown thing. I think I want to get involved next year, maybe on one of these Sunday nights. I'm probably going to want to stay at your house, though, if I can sleep on the couch. I like to drink. I like to drink.
You just made I love it when you just say this. I enjoyed it.
You are not going to have trouble finding a place to stay if you like to drink during this event.
No, I just have always promised my wife if I have one too many that I just stay there that night. And Greg Elsing with Badger State. There's been many and many of Thursdays where I've stopped by his house on the way home and I slept on the couch again. Yeah. So
now to bounce off your the last gentleman that was on that had lumpies.
Yeah, lumpies. Yeah, what do you got, Whit?
We've got stumpies.
Stumpies.
Thump. Is it thumpy or stumpy?
Stumpy.
With a TH. Thumpy.
S-T.
Oh, stumpy.
Stumpy. Like a tree stump. But Stumpy ran a pizza wagon in a restaurant here locally. It was just it's legendary, and is unfortunately he passed away I believe last week. Stumpy's funeral is actually this Saturday of Hoedown, but he's got another generation that runs the pizza wagon, and that's been a staple of Houston's Hoedown as long as I can remember. And if you're at Hoedown, you need to get some Stumpy's pizza. That's the one have to. And once you leave Stumpy's trailer, you can walk right over. And Mr. Schultz, who just was on here with his comment, is in charge of our brat stand, and he's just putting out the world famous Hoedown brats. So you grab a brat, grab a slice of pizza and a cold beverage, and you're set to watch some good pulling.
Isn't it funny how food and beverage really, I mean, they drive our lives, but those are certain things there's certain events I go to. Lamar's, Iowa is an outlaw pull. They do pork chop and you eat it with a glove, Ken.
Really?
Like they hand you like a little, like almost like a little football glove. I don't know. It's those gloves with a little prickly thing, and you just eat it. And it is seriously the best thing I've ever had in my life. And I can't wait to go back and try one of those again. So,
well, I might need to find out what town that was because I do like to eat. So,
Lamar's, Iowa. Lamar's, Iowa.
It's not good for a guy in the light super class, but I
was just gonna say. That's why I got a heavy super, so it's all good. We got movable weight. So,
yeah.
What's shoot? I had a question. Let me think. Oh, pulling white. I want to go back to your pulling career. Do you have a top 5 memorable ones? Like, so Friday night in Chapel Hill, Adam Kester, that Larry passed away 5 years ago on Friday night. I was in the booth. So Chase Richardson was first, went 298, turned it down. So they reset the sled. Adam comes up, goes 299, turns it down on Footloose, his dad's tractor, right? Brian McDonald, the next puller, very little insanity, goes 303, 19 mini rods in the class. Nobody got close. Adam comes up. I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. He starts pumping his fist at 225, Ken. And Randall was in the booth with me announcing the live stream. I have goosebumps talking about it. Larry was on that freaking tractor pushing him. I don't care. He won by 15 feet. Nobody. And it's not like he found some special line, Ken. There was nothing left. I mean, there was nothing left. Kester was on that tractor with him. And you lost your dad a year ago. I found out my dad has cancer a month ago. It's prostate. It's not the end of the world. Sounds like we're going to be okay, but shit start getting real with all this stuff as we get older. And my dad's my best friend, and my dad's the reason
getting older.
Yeah, my dad's the reason I spend money I don't have on pulling tractors. So, what are some? Give me some Ken Witt memories. Give me some. I don't care if you cry. Let's talk. Let's get after it.
Boy, I don't know which one to even start with. It's been a career. I've been blessed. I have. I can remember the first win I ever got in a, quote unquote modified tractor. We ran dirt flingers up here, and then which turned into the Tri-State organization, and they ran a mod farm class, which comparable today is probably the 466 3x4 type thing.
Sure.
The first win on that in Austin, Iowa. I beat Marcus Weddleson. We were both in the same class. It was the first win I ever got. Fast forward, Marcus and I are on the same track again on the same class, numerous events, years later. We got Picklers, they were all in the same class. We've all kind of had this progression. It's another family, and we've been doing this 30 plus years, and that's the fun part. We just actually took the tractor up to Pickler shop on Saturday night. Ran it up there, trying to get this thing together and ready to run. I mean, the tractor's run, but we got this clutch can issue I won't go into, but it.
You don't need to.
We're going to get some help, and to see them, and at 10 o'clock at night, we're standing there shopping. It's like nothing's going on, and it's awesome. But as far as the pulling goes, that first win in Austin, I'll never forget, and one that was probably most memorable. Can't remember which. The years fly by nowadays, but the first Shipshawana out there in Indiana.
The Winter Nationals for the NTPA.
Yeah.
Or spring Nationals. They call it in March.
Spring Nationals. The March pull.
Yep.
I was riding down I-90 with Jeremy Plutz. We're actually heading to Lemke's to get his motor and his tractor, which was committed to go out there at the time, Limited Pro.
Yep.
And I got a call from Helen, and they needed another light super, and they wanted to know if we could make it. And I had some personal issues going on at that time, and didn't know just where I was with things. Nothing bad, but marriage type issues. And looked at Jeremy, and I'm like, what I do is like, you dumbass, the semi's going. He says, we're putting it in, we're taking it.
Yep,
Deal.
that's Jeremy.
Deal. So long story short, ended up out there. My girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife, Letitia, rode with. That was her first tractor pull she ever went with me to. My best friend Jason Mark was with me, and my dad. And it was 5 of us. We went out there, went into Shipshawana, just thinking we're going to make a pass. And you look at who we're up against. It's some big names. I never even. We're filler. And to come out and lay down a pass and plant it into the sand pile and have those guys there. I've got a jar at home with part of that sand pile.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And that has my dad's and my buddy Jason Mark's ashes in it now too.
Oh.
And those two guys aren't here anymore. But they were there for that event, and that one that tops it all.
Yeah.
A moment in life where I needed it, and they were all there for it. But now they're forever in that sand pile. So
it's a sad story, but it's a great story.
It's sad, but it's one of my greatest memories. I was just so happy that those people were there to witness it firsthand.
Yep.
The next pull we went to was in Ellsworth, and we won the light super and the heavy super that night. Another great accomplishment. That was the first 3 hooks of that year were the wins. We couldn't start on. Then we dropped the valve seat and kind of went downhill from there and had to fight back. We did make it out to the Enderley. I think that year we made it to the Enderley with the light and the heavy class. We ran both of them in the Enderley and ended up in second in both. So it. That was a year, 2019.
There's some pockets in the country where, like, I feel like a regional or a state level vehicles, like Badger State Pro Stocks. I feel like Wisconsin Light Supers. Not everybody that runs you hear Grand National or you hear this or Champions Tour or whatever. There's quality equipment at the region level and the state level, but guys got to get home every night. You know what I mean? And like the dairy, you got to get back milk cows probably. So I get that. And that's why people can't run that. But when you guys do show up at a Toma or, Picklers, they can win anywhere. Weddleson, it's fun for you, to say these names. That's where the region to me is really so important. It's fun. Yeah. A Fort Recovery is coming up this weekend, and Brandenburg, Kentucky, and all these great venues, national that we talk about nationally. But there's a lot of great state level, good running stuff that, and that's the pull. There's people, Ken, that they only know the Houston Hoedown. They don't know of any other truck and tractor pulls. Do you know what I mean? And that's what's fun. That's what's fun. That's what makes it special. So
we try to give them a slice of what we see on a weekly basis, or used to see on a weekly basis, and those of us that are in, if you want to say, the inner circle, we see what's going on, and you have a whole new appreciation when you go to an event and you see a rain cloud come through, or they're struggling to get the track put together, or just short on help. Anybody who pulls should have to put on a pull, at once in their life, just to experience and have that point of view. And it gives you a whole nother respect when you show up at these places.
It sure does. Kenzie's looking for some Mr. Yuck videos right now. I want to share one quick before we let you go. Thanks for coming on tonight. This has been fun.
Absolutely. I had more fun than I thought I would. I hope you picked a good one.
Is that Caledonia? Is that Caledonia?
I don't know. Nope.
It just says Miss Young.
Anoka?
Here's Decorah.
That's Decorah. That first might have been Anoka.
and just about where we wanted to, right? F3.
So Pico Phil on the mic.
You betcha.
So Dustin Stampka says that was Ellsworth Heavy Super 2019. That was the big one. Okay.
Well, that's the other driver. So he's much younger and has a much sharper mind. So
I like it. I like it. Well, Ken, we'll let you go. Good luck this weekend, buddy. I hope you fill those stands up, and I hope we have a good hoedown. So
thank you very much, and I appreciate everything you guys have done. So
thanks, bud.
Keep up the good work.
Care.
Thank you, sir.
I love hearing those stories. I don't.
Yeah, that's.
I've known Ken for a long time. I've known Ken for a long time, and he's a great guy, and just loves pulling, and you can tell.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
But
as simple as that.
He knows his kids are busy, and he's doing that. And tractor pulling will be there for him when the kids get a little older and they have a little bit more time. So it's pretty awesome to hear that. So.
Yep.
Storylines. What do you want to talk about? I want to wrap in about 10 minutes, but
Gage Ott. I gotta talk about what I saw in Pawnee City.
All right, Mike, set it up. Set it up, announcer. Set it up.
Well, on Saturday night, so you got
lay it out. Lay it out.
Yeah. Well, did you read the article today, Jason?
Is there a new what do we call our blog
This
now?
Week with the Outlaws? It used to be This Week in Pulling, but now it's Outlaw exclusive. This Week with the Outlaws. So over the last three light modified classes, we've had 3 first-time winners so far this season. Gage Ott is like the perennial silver medalist. He's Blake Ott's younger brother. Blake Ott has won points and won this class more times than you can count. I mean, Blake kind of has a tight fist on this class. Wes Seaver showed up last year, and he's the new big heavy hitter. And Blake and Wes have been going 1 and 2 all year long. They're the only 2 that have won the class up until a week ago. And Gage, the younger brother, kind of plays the role of younger brother. Great, hard-running vehicle, but 9 times out of 10, Blake's going to be out there. Gage is the last one to hook in the class on this beautiful blue V12 Allison. And his brother's in the lead. His brother had pulled 351 feet or something like that, which was a monster pass. Like the number 2 spot was like 298. So it's looking like don't even think about it. Gage Ott pulls 418 and change.
Who wants to see the video?
Raise
your hand. Who wants to see? Raise your hand, Mike. Kenzie.
Okay.
Video. Yeah. Pretty proud of it. Oh, yeah.
I love your
Watch, he gets both hands going. He gets both of them. I mean, he has been in that number 2 spot for so long. And to finally be out in front of Big Brother with the farthest distance I've ever seen it in tractor pull. This is the farthest I've ever seen any vehicle go. The way I wrote it.
Raise your hand if you think in the comments, or type in raise your hand in the comments. Duh. Hi, there's Jason. I can do the emoji. Yeah. Who thinks we should just have an Allison class? Like that's all you can have is just Allison's mic. Like that would be
Ken's in the green room right now. Ken's in the green room raising his hand saying,
"Here, I'll bring Whit back on." Here, hold on.
The way I put it in my article, I said it was as if
they're freaking awesome. Allison's are the shit.
It was like every second place he'd ever gotten was a foot that was owed to him, and he cashed in on every single foot because he didn't win that class. He had to go 350 to win it. He didn't win it by going 352. And him and his brother's vehicles are set up almost identical. He went freaking 418. I don't think you could have paid him $1,000 to let go of that throttle. He would have went to Kansas if the track would have been long enough.
You get those rides you don't back out of the throttle.
Yeah.
You just find out what track there is in that venue. Yeah, those are the ones you just know by the seat of your pants. There is nothing going to
Yep.
happen but great things, and everybody should experience that one time. You know, that is the most euphoric thing you can have is when your rear end sits down into the seat and everything's planted and every horse is going down to the ground and you're just moving. You know, you asked about special moments. Beating Esden Lane for the first time was a special moment. And when he came over to congratulate me, he told me the mod burn in at the end was unnecessary. I said, well, I wasn't letting up until I knew damn well I was past you.
Yeah.
Esden's awesome.
Well,
Richard Morris told me a story this weekend about where he did something kind of like that, and the flagman said, "Didn't you see that red flag?" And
nope,
sure didn't. Was right hand was forward. So
no, it's all good like that. We'll leave Ken on a little bit if you don't mind, Ken.
I'll try to screw things up best I can.
That's fine. Mendon, Illinois, Sunday and Monday. I'm gonna be down there. I want to give them a shout out. They got a bunch of stuff going on. They got some PPL, some ITPA, a whole bunch of stuff. I'm gonna be back on the microphone down there. I'm looking forward to that. Waterloo, Illinois, this Saturday night. $10,000 to win the two-wheel drive truck class. $20,000 purse. So Gene Stump is a promoter down there. We had him on the podcast last week. They got rained out last year, so he carried that money over. And then they're doing $7,500 for the purse for the 5.0 Pro Stock class. So that's pretty excited about that. And then I want to share this. So Julianne, Justin Kent's daughter, won $658 Friday night in Chapel Hill on a $10 bet. And that's pretty fun. I got to share my screen on this to do this. So if you haven't been to Full Pull Picks yet, everybody, and I gave Mike Idle my phone one night. We lost $100. So I pumped my account back up, Mike. So got to hit the Full Pull tab.
Yeah.
Thanks,
is that because I wasn't picking this go around? Is that what you're saying?
So Julianne, she won $658 Friday night. She picked Mac Daddy New Generation Plus. Now, Julia Ray was a favorite on this, and Lemke, so she won. Yeah, she bet $20. Excuse me, but you pick two people. This is fun. I'm really looking forward to this. What this is going to do, and then the money's going back into the Pullers Points funds as well at the end of the year from the gambling. So this is pretty fun. I really wanted to share that for $20 to hit a big one like that. That's pretty cool. But I think Lemke had longer shot odds, obviously, than Julia, because everybody always puts their money on Meyer, Simons, and the Mac Trailer teams, Connie's, Julia Ray and Mike Connie. But that was fun to see her do that well with that. So that was the biggest winner I saw from the weekend so far. So what else?
you take that story, you take Gage's run, you take Adam getting the win. Where his father passed away. He passed away at Chapel Hill.
He told us we had him on our countdown to pull time bike, and I brought him on Saturday night to celebrate Friday night, and they, his buddy went in, like, man, we haven't seen Dad all day. Go in and wake his ass up. And then, and Adam just said he just knew when he came out that, he was dead. And they have a parking spot there in Chapel Hill. Rojo, Larry Chapman, one of the promoters down there, they all stood in front of it when they pulled up. It has a picture of Larry, and it says something like a smile is better than a tear or something like that. So Larry was one of those smart asses so Adam was telling stories. If you go back to Full Pull, Facebook or YouTube Saturday night around 5:00, scroll the timeline, and you can we talked to Adam for 45 minutes. It was awesome to hear him talk about his dad. Ken, to hear you talk about your dad. Dads are the reason we do this, moms and dads. I mean, my dad's my best friend because of pulling. Mom and dad got divorced. Dad still lives in Iowa. Mom moves us to Wisconsin. Dad had an old D21. I thought that thing was a freaking red line fever. You know what I mean? That old blackjack.
Yeah.
And how else do you get a kid, friends, girlfriends, sports to go back to Iowa every weekend? And because of that blackjack, that D21, that's why. You know what I mean? And when I bought the Remedy or the High Tech Redneck, that's my gift back to my dad to do that. So,
my dream was always to get my dad on a modified, back either when I had my Super Farm or when we ran this chassis as a diesel, is by today's standards a light pro, the 540 with the 4.3 Charger at the time, that nothing like by today's standards of a light pro, but He just never wanted to. He sat back and he says, "It's you." And I'm getting it now. As a dad and watching your kids, he says, "I have so much fun just watching it go and watching you do what you do." And that sunk with me. At my home, I wanted him on there. Just go, just do it, do it, do it. And he wouldn't. But by God, if he was if he was healthy enough to go with on that week, he was first guy to jump in the buddy seat of the semi, and we were heading out. And that's time that it doesn't have a value. That was away from farming. It was away from that. Pulling has its own stress, but it was time together that even just to back and you still awake? Yep. You need to stop. Do you need what do you need? You need a drink. You need just an elbow to the side. Make sure you're still awake going down the interstate. That was and we've all had them. And that's I think what draws this whole sport together. I think that's the difference. Yeah, there is such a family dynamic to the whole thing. Whether you're mod and 4-wheel drive or pro stock, super stock, it's across all of it. And that is, I'd say, stepping back. That's the thing I miss the most. It's your pulling family. And seeing those guys every weekend. I saw a lot of them more than I see relatives.
The time that Dad and I spent, I would see him at tractor pulls. The time we'd spent going to the pull and on the way home. That's when we did all of our talking. And about being a man and how we act and how we talk. And he wasn't afraid to be honest with me. He's still not. So.
Oh yeah, those late nights in the shop too, trying to get ready to go the next night, or fixing something, or just even creating it from the beginning. It's
pretty cool.
I'm taking up your time. You guys keep talking what you need to talk about.
No, it's all good. We'll let you go. We'll let you go, Ken. Have a good night, buddy. We just saw Ken raise his hand. He liked Allison, so I thought, shit, we got to bring him back on. So weigh-in Wednesday show to be on Full Pull Live. We're gonna announce the lineups for Fort Recovery and Brandenburg Friday night. There will be gambling on those. There will be gambling on Pierce, Nebraska Thursday night and Wayne, Nebraska Friday night. Those games will be up here. I got to get the final lineup set, get everybody signed up. Let's see here. I think that's all I had. I talked about Waterloo. I talked about Mendon, Kester, Chapel Hill was amazing. Kenzie, you wrap up your weekend.
I started out in Bloomfield, Iowa on
Thursday.
No, it was Wednesday.
Thursday. Definitely Thursday.
When you run Outlaw TV, you don't know what day it is. It's okay, Ken.
That's true.
Okay. As long as you go to the right place at the right time.
Hey, I got baptized. at Bloomfield this weekend.
Yep.
What?
Yeah. It was
Doug Ruth rained oil on me.
He did what?
He rained oil on me. I got back to the production trailer after the show. I thought he had water. I thought he was injecting water, and I thought he was I got right up in there. Getting those shots you want, Jason. I'm right up on top of that tractor.
Hell yeah!
And I'm feeling splatter, and I'm like, oh, he's got steam coming off because he's injecting water. And I get back to the trailer, and Kenzie's like, "What happened to you?" And I'm just covered. I'm covered in oil spots.
Because I look like that at farm show this year.
I have a shirt soaked with blow-by of Esden Lane in Wisner, Nebraska, and I kept that crew shirt, and I'm going to frame it. And I'm going to have him sign it.
Did you frame it? Have him sign it.
Just covered in fuel. Just covered in fuel. Oh, hell yeah, I will.
So Kenzie, I hijacked your. So Thursday we're hanging out in Bloomfield.
Good talker, bad listener. That's that Mike Idle thing.
So
she told me tonight. What'd you say to me? I expect everything. What did you say to me at the beginning of the night?
You told me to do 5 million things at once.
I told her to do 5 million things at once. Well, what's wrong with that? I don't see the problem with it, Mike.
Anyway,
back to I digress.
So Bloomfield, it was cool. Nice little 30 hook show.
It's a great thing for a Thursday night, at a smaller fair like that.
The crowd showed up, so it was nice. The next day we went to.
You went to Montgomery City.
Montgomery City, yes.
Hi, my name's Kenzie. I don't know what day it is.
No, I don't.
I don't.
Nor where do I go. Anyway, Montgomery City was nice. Again, great crowd.
Hey, real quick, which Ruth tractor got you? The one that didn't run at the end, or the one that did run?
No, the one that did run, the Too Ruthless, I think is the one. I don't know, Ruthless and Too Ruthless. I think that the Too Ruthless bespeckled me. Kenzie sent me a wonderful picture from Montgomery City right in the middle of our show at Lee, because awesome things come out of Macon County, Missouri. So that made me happy to see.
Yeah. They let the 4-wheel drive trucks run. They went way past my cameraman, which is pretty cool.
Well, Mr. Stone told me the next day. He said they were way out there.
They were way out there.
We're in Montgomery City.
Montgomery City.
Well, the semis were touching the sand, right?
Yeah. Well, that's what semis do. But
they're cool.
That's what semis do.
Yeah. And then next
What
day,
about-
Warrensburg.
What about Warrensburg?
In Bloomfield, Iowa.
Here,
International
we're going
tractor
to Mike
called
Idol.
Too Ruthless.
Now, fans, these camera shots are from the Mike Idol. Mike, raise your hand. I mean, Kenzie's in the trailer pushing the buttons. Kenzie gets all the credit.
The only reason why Mike is live is me.
That's right.
Kenzie has a clean shirt at the end of the night, though. So
This tractor has a trailer mate, the Ruthless binder. The Ruthless binder was the first.
Isn't Ron's voice majestic?
It's very soothing.
It's very, I love it. It's
frustrating because I went back and listened to his Warrensburg show. I felt that I had done as well as I could do this weekend. And I went back and listened to Ron, and I was like, I'm not even close. Not even close. I said, I don't have a clue.
I used to think announcing was my future. I started working with Ron a couple of times, like, yep, I'm going to get into something else.
Yeah. He's got the it
in the
factor.
stable. The Too Ruthless being the second tractor added at some point later. 304.34, the mark to beat Roger Ruey, the one mean farmer in the lead right now.
The eyes. Look, I got to get the eyes.
Mike, he's been listening. I'm proud of Mike. You do an awesome job, buddy.
Now, if you ask any puller out there, any puller, doesn't matter who it is, doesn't matter what class it is, what's the hardest pull in the world to win? They'll all tell you your hometown pull. Dustin Ruth from right here in Bloomfield, Iowa. Here comes Too Ruthless.
You can kind of see the oil right there, just on the edge of the side shield. I could feel it.
Doggone it. You heard that thing start to flutter in there.
That is Ron's doggone it. If you're a puller and you hear doggone it, it's not a good night.
No,
it's not good. It is not good at all. At all. That's a little sneak peek there. Outlawpulling.tv. Proud to be part of that.
Was Warrensburg awesome? Was Warrensburg excellent?
There was nowhere to sit Saturday night.
Give me a crowd. Give me an attendance estimate.
10,000.
You do not know how much I'm enjoying this. Easy.
I'm
Didn't even hesitate. 10,000, easy.
Looking through my trailer window thing around my screen, there was like a bajillion people there.
Looking through my window thingy, there was a bajillion people there.
No, I'm serious. There's a lot of people there.
That's what they want. That's what that pool
I was like,
deserves.
I was happy
That
for
pool
them.
deserves a big attendance. So good deal.
I'm just gonna say, I mean, the Beer Money Pulling Team runs their social media. So I mean, I don't know if that's why or not. It doesn't hurt. Little pat on the back, Kenzie, for us, or no? Pat, did you just pat yourself on the back?
Oh, okay.
You're supposed to.
Anyway, but yes, it went great. MSPA put on a good show as well for their 3 Polish classes they had.
Currently leading the Organics Midwest Summer Sweep.
Well, that's not him on screen. But
That's the River Rat.
River Rat of Mr. Wayne Lock.
All right, let's shut up and listen to the River Rat.
He's having a good year.
He was first up in the mods, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Look at that crowd, Mike. All right, question, Mike.
Oh, it was a lot.
Yep.
Do you want us to zoom out more? Do we need to zoom out more? So because I've different people let us know. We like keeping it pretty tight, but I've had some people say they want it out a little bit more so they can actually feel how fast they're going. That's something I want to talk to you about.
My gut, so literally the first time I picked up a camera, so this is for whatever it is, first time I ever picked up a camera, I zoomed way out because I thought I wanted to see tractor and parts of the sled. And then Kenzie told me like pretty quickly, she's like, hey, you need to get in tight. I went back and watched both shots. I feel that the tight shot looks a lot better than the zoomed out shot.
That's what you're doing here, showing the replay.
That's what I think.
Yeah. Was that replay?
Yeah.
Did you figure that out?
Yeah. Well, it was just a lot happening.
All at once?
Yeah.
Ooh, Cotton Candy laid the wood on him.
Yeah, he won.
Cotton Candy. I have a little inside information.
Uh-oh, what?
Cotton Candy. So he won Bloomfield and he won Warrensburg. So he kind of swept the weekend. Brand new tires. Brand new tires on the back of Cotton
Yeah,
Candy.
meet us on?
Did not. That was
Pro
my
Puller?
first
Pro
assumption. Yep, he had
Pro
on
Pullers?
a newer, different set of Pro Pullers. I parked next to George and Cameron at Bloomfield, and that was the first thing he told me. I said, brand new tires, first run we've had on it, and they won both hooks this weekend. Tires have been the new, there for a long time. It was weight, and then it was horsepower, and then it was blowers or fuel. Right now, the story in pulling is tires. Like tires are the it factor. So new set of tires and back-to-back wins.
That announcer, is that the MSTPA hype man he calls himself on Facebook? Is that who that is? Are you talking right now?
He was the same guy that announced that. He announced at Boonville. The pull I went down to Boone, and he is fire and energy and passion for sure, no doubt about it.
Last modified tractor coming up next. Vern Huser at Ankeny, Iowa. Tractor called Say Good.
Who was the camera crew at Warrensburg?
So it was Dylan Oliver from Missouri.
Oh yeah.
And then the Elijah, the guy who brings the big
From Shawnee. This is your fans. You're watching Warrensburg, Missouri. Show me shootout on outlawpulling.tv.
And the River Rat. He could get past
Vern Huser travels. I learned this weekend too. Vern Huser travels with Richard Morris. Did not know that, but they are semi truck. They ride in the same semi.
Your guys' English sucks tonight. But Mike was struggling with that. You were like all earlier, like thingamajiggy, and then the bajillion people here.
What would you call it? Co semi truck rider partners. Like they share a semi.
Yeah, that works. That works. If people get the point, that's all that matters.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it was a great show.
Yeah, I like these. I like these shots with the mods where you look right up through the twin Hemis up front. I think those are fun shots.
Got to beat 343.29 to win it.
What else do you want to see from Warrensburg, Michael?
How many of y'all think you can do it?
I wasn't at Warrensburg, and I haven't had a chance to go back and
I know. What do you want to see?
Oh, I know. I do know the answer. Surprise.
Pro stock 4x4 gas truck?
Yes. Yep. Because you're making fun of me, or because you saw the cool winner in that class?
No, I'm
because no, that class had a really interesting winner in it. Go to the pro stock 4-wheel drive trucks. I like modified 4-wheel drive truck too. If that counts for anything. So
I like modified 4x4 trucks too.
Yeah, we had a surprise. We had a surprise.
Trailer mates. Trailer mates. We're gonna go with trailer mates. Mark Trailer
mates. Going to get past Cotton Candy. Cameron Neems going to get 2 in a row Thursday night and here tonight in Warrensburg.
Semi-truck riding individuals.
Were the gas trucks early or late?
No, they were later. There's Rat Trap. Then after him,
Where did the Tator wagon hook, Kenzie?
Go to the Outlaw app. It's free.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Let me know.
Yeah, but it's going to show results. It's not going to show lineup.
It shows your hook number next to it. Ding dong.
Ah, indeed.
Oh, he was first. Okay.
He was first, so he's not even close. There's no bag.
Yeah, George back on that.
The mean farmer. Wisner, Nebraska, August 15th and 17th. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. What's that?
Through the 17th.
Through the 17th. Yeah, it's not.
They all say hook number 1.
I don't even know. Like
It's got their draw number, so you could figure it out. But under results, every last one of them says hook number 1.
Is that McKenzie Trink line? I love that tractor. She's a very good. She got to go to the Louisville. Were the gas trucks after the MSTPA mods?
Yep. Here's Mr. Jamie.
He's going to be right about middle of the class. His draw number was 114.
I love that shot right there. Thank you for doing that.
Full service auction out of the league.
Hey, she doesn't talk to me in my headset the same way that you do. It's,
Yeah,
I told her, I said at Bloomfield, I said, I need you to give me the Jason Schultz treatment. And
when it's a good shot, I love you. When it's bad, I scream at you. It's all good.
the only reason that Pawnee City, Nebraska still has speakers and a sound system that work after Gage's run is because you have looked me dead in the eye and said, if you don't stop yelling into the microphone, like I am going to scream at you. But after Gage's run, like it took all of my self-control not to absolutely obliterate those speakers. And I didn't do it because I listened to you when you threatened to yell at me.
Well, and you got to work with Dan Mayer too. That wasn't first hook. Cody get his tractor running? Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Clearly. They had turbo problems in Rock Valley. Cottonmouth.
Yeah, you can see.
Okay, so Rat Trap was who was first? They're all hook number 1 is what Mike said. But trust your gut. You think it was later? Tater Wag was later?
Yeah, he's definitely.
Rat Trap hooked second.
Tater Wagon's red and black, right?
Yep.
It's like a maroon. Cameron Pascal had a nice run in the high cotton 2-wheel drive.
Tater Wagon won though?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
There's bipolar. This is Chuck Cleveland. Cutting down the profits. Cutting into profits.
3.8.
Rat Trap was early. Okay.
Yeah.
Representative and Mr. Dan Howe.
Whip it. There it is. Tater Wagon, that's your winner. Here we go. Ron Stone's mouth. OutlawPulling.tv.
Looks like it puts him in the number 4 spot for now. Here comes the Tater Wagon Chevrolet out of Villisca, Iowa. Dave Walters.
Nice shot in the crowd too.
Smooth as butter.
Smooth as butter.
Yeah, he beat Keith Hammonds and all the rest of them, but mainly Keith Hammonds because Keith Hammonds wins that class a lot.
Because Keith Hammonds is tough to beat.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I'm gonna show some full pull.live here, and then we're gonna call her a night. This is from Chet. Go ahead, Kenzie.
Tug of war at the end of Pawnee City.
Who was that?
The tug of war stuff between some fans on the track.
In Pawnee City?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
I did.
There was a tug of war?
Yeah, Jalen showed me video.
I didn't see anything about tug of war.
Then I will show you.
For those of you that want to bet, boy, the odds are great.
That's where
Yeah,
win
so
$658
on a $10 wager in the pro stock class last night. They picked Lemke and they picked Julia Ray. And they won $658.
It's hard to hear us here because we left our headsets outside for the first 5 or 6 tractors because we're morons.
Yeah.
And they can picking up all the ambient sound.
Sound. We got a little leakage underneath the tractor. We certainly hope that is not a major issue.
Here's the bootlegger.
Look at that. Full pull live looking sharp. That is high resolution.
That's Colin Ross driving the bootlegger, everybody.
Another great replay of Colin Ross there and the bootlegger as we're.
Hey, I just said that.
It's like you think a certain way.
5 points behind Brent there. Now we saw Grant Theobald come into the weekend with about a 12-point lead in the mini rod division. That's gone. Did anything wrong? You know how this goes.
Travis Schlaba now.
You don't even get in the big classes.
He was freaking awesome.
We have 10 diesel supers for Federal Bank.
Cool guy.
So great shot here of Julia Ray. But injected funds, Brent Meyer going to be up a little bit later in the class. But she picked up 3 points on Brent last night with her finish. So
and we got a lot of season left. Oh yeah.
There's a double womp right there.
We come out so hard, with Benson, Farley.
This is full.live, everybody.
It's like bang, bang, bang. You're almost, oh, why do we do this?
We're showing outlawpulling.tv earlier.
Now, did you have to do much to the bone twister between Toma and here?
Oh, that sound.
But looks the computer will be doing a little bit of work before next weekend also. So we're on a 5-week row, and I think about every class is on going to go 4 or 5 weeks in a row.
I think if Travis has to hang up the turbochargers,
he had a good one Friday night.
He's got a future in announcing. He's got a good natural voice talking on the microphone.
Travis is great. Yeah, Travis is great.
Whatever that you can just go completely upside down on them, but. I did chuckle earlier, as bootlegger Colin took off, and then I seen on one of these cameras, the Mac Daddy crew, they were moving weights. So every crew, has, every tractor has that awesome crew that is also back there watching tracks and everything and seeing what all happens here to make that adjustment.
Julia got 3rd place last night out of 19 pro stocks, so had a really good pass. She's currently 2nd in the points. 5 points behind Brent Meyer and injected funds. So Mike and Julia, they don't mess around. They came.
We started playing with pitcher in the pitcher. This has been kind of fun.
Picks. Obvious, Ohio big running tractor. So
that's Kyle. Tomorrow. We'll write that in notes, or you remember?
No, I don't remember because I go.
I don't know if we're using this off the Black Magic, or if we're using it.
I think you are because you use that.
Yeah. Yep.
Danny Schmucker, Travis Schlaba, you're feeling pretty good right now, keeping that 325 and the sled is set. I know sometimes they'll say we want to watch one more. We can hear all the.
This was right before the rain delay. Then the rain came. But they just pulled the tarp backs and started pulling again. It was awesome.
Yeah,
there's
still watching it. Like,
did the crowd hang around, or did you lose a lot of them?
Get Travis.
I'll go back.
Where?
You named that pole.
Oh, the Bill mine too.
Yeah.
This is Kenzie's favorite tractor in the whole freaking world, guys.
Jack Mays.
Yeah, it's not like you got something.
This one does have a different sound to it.
It used to sound like a train.
It's Schneider's. It's real red.
Yeah.
It's really red.
I kind of hear what you're hearing, Kenzie.
Oh no, it sounds different now, but if you watch that,
it has an entirely like when you listen to it at Louisville, it sounds completely different than the rest of them.
I think that's my internet.
Okay, yeah.
That was a nice run by Jack.
Because it switched off. It switched back to Wi-Fi. I don't know.
He's a fellow Northwest Missouri State Bearcat. He and I went to the same university.
Brandon.
I want to show some trucks here for Mike.
Thank you. Well, this is a southern track and a southern pull, and that's trucks are king down there. So like they used to be last class for a long time down there because it was kind of their highlight.
Which one's there? How low the? Watch that front tire here at the end.
Rob's driving that this year, right? Carmen's not
Yeah,
driving.
Carmen. I haven't seen Carmen on it yet this year.
Yeah.
Emax. So let's do 10. Let's do $10.
Oh, that's a new paint scheme on that one.
Here we go. Daniel Johnson, the Desperado.
Desperado. Were trucks the last class this year?
No,
They-
Unlimiteds were.
They always used to run them last, and then in 2023 they changed that up. So
Yeah, they ran the Unlimiteds. They kept the same point order. We went diesel supers, minis, pro stocks, 4-wheel drive trucks, and Unlimiteds at the end. So
yeah.
he was first hook. I remember this yanked him way over to the left. But this is Saturday night, which I think it is.
First place there.
Yeah, he almost goes out of bounds. I'm not.
There's
he's
a
really close to the
lot
line
of
here.
mods go left at this
Yeah,
track.
Joe Ader picked up his 99th national win.
Scott Doty, our in flag guy.
That's we wanted to show that. Look it's off the ground, the back of the sled.
Is that just?
I mean, to stop those Unlimited.
Yeah, no, and they dump that. It'll be that way from like 220. I mean, they completely slam it down early.
Don't know. Scott's 49.2. We see the man Joe Ader.
There's Joe.
Talking about,
There's
chatter
Lindsay,
on
me
the
in the
Raiders
picture
right
in
now, so
picture.
they're gonna
Lindsay
leave
Gamble
that
came in
sled
short
alone.
fused.
It appears they are. I just saw Jim Miller say, "Fire up Doug Theobald." Sled around a lot.
Their stuff together. A lot of good drivers here.
Yeah.
There's Doug. Is that Doug?
This is what you get at Full Pull. We got 2 great live streams for you fans. FullPull.live, OutlawPulling.tv. It's good stuff. Good stuff. Can't beat it with the big stick. Let's show you Joe's run. He won.
Anything else to say on that?
Dave Richards and
Everybody's
Joe was
pretty
right before
powerful.
him.
You really do.
They're like, he's got his, we're going to get you a stick so you can hold it up like this on your camera. This is a cool shot.
Ooh.
Yeah. You really do.
Well, I've got my
See that angle?
I like to call
what
that.
do you call my
Here, just
monopod?
Yep.
349.
Maybe I just hold up the monopod.
Yep. That's all he was doing. That's a cool shot to get above it like that. We tried a bunch of different stuff Saturday night.
That is cool. That is really cool.
Yeah.
All like work. 349.
There's Joe's run. He just tore it up. It was freaking awesome.
It sits a lot.
Yeah, that's his new chassis. He
Yep.
sits basically over the, like in front of it, front of the rear tires.
They're all moving forward. All of them. They're all trying to get way forward.
Yeah, my internet's buffering, guys. I'm sorry. So, but you get the idea. It's awesome. FullPull.live, OutlawPulling.tv. You can't beat it with the big stick for $40 a month. Get all of this. It's pretty cool. But Donnie Sullivan. Oh, look at you, Kenzie, coming with the big stick reference.
Yeah,
I like it. I got to quit sharing my screen. Mike, did you say everything you wanted to say tonight?
Got it all out there.
Kenzie?
I got nothing.
But I got nothing. So, okay, I'm going to Mercer Wednesday. Mercer, Missouri for Outlaw Pulling TV. Where are you going to be, Mike?
Mercer, Missouri.
Are you announcing?
I'm announcing at Mercer.
Okay. Where are you going to be Wednesday?
Britt, Iowa.
Britt, Iowa. Outlaw Pulling TV. So you'll be with Ron. Thursday, I'm going to Pierce, Nebraska. Are you going to Pierce with me, Michael?
Sac City, Iowa.
Oh, you're with me in Sac?
Yep.
So
Evidently.
Ron's going to Pierce with me.
I guess.
Okay.
Yep.
Then Friday night is Wayne.
Wayne, Ron, and I will both.
Mars
Ron and I will be co-announcing at Wayne.
Okay. And then Saturday night is Platte City, Missouri, and Lamar's, Iowa. For outlawpulling.tv. And in Full Pull Live, we're going to be in Fort Recovery, Ohio, Friday, Saturday. And then we're going to be gambling again on Pierce Thursday, Wayne Friday, Fort Recovery Friday and Saturday, as well as Brandenburg, Kentucky. FullPullPicks.com. Do you know who you have on Outlawed Live tomorrow night, Michael?
No, I do not.
to check with the boss.
Yeah, precisely.
So
no,
I'm gonna play a couple things, and we're gonna go to bed. How about that?
I love it.
See you, Michael. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Lincoln Diesel Specialties offers high-quality diesel performance products and services for various models of trucks. Check them out online.
Get top-quality truck parts, as well as expert application information about tractor pulling and clutch assembly, from our professionals in Waynesburg, Kentucky. Call Kenny's today.
Schultz Mortgage Team and USA Mortgage want you to know that you do not need 20% down to buy a house. Give Jason a call 7 days a week to learn how.
Get your $25 bonus at Full Pull Picks by using promo code BEERMO. Deposit a minimum of $5 and make your picks at fullpull.us today.
Scroll down.
Oh, there! I screwed up, Mike. I'm back. Where's that?
Scroll up.
Scroll up.
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 That one.
Experience the thrill of pulling on Outlaw Pulling TV. Don't miss a second of the summer's intense pulling. Subscribe now for your monthly membership at outlawpulling.tv and enjoy full access to all the action. Join today at outlawpulling.tv.
Let's make some noise. Good running. John Deere, Animal Deep Iowa coming up. We got one right behind us.